Apply.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. Number one for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
Arizona stands pat at ninth in the latest USA Today men's basketball coaches poll. Their Pac-12 tournament gets started Thursday when they play the Utah-Stanford winner.
Yeah, I had to switch the setting really quickly.
The Royals today, Dre Jameson gets the start on the mound. The Suns are undefeated in 3 games with Kevin Durant in the lineup.
Yeah, I was just switching the settings over here really quickly.
They're home this week for a couple of games, starting on Wednesday against the Thunder. And
sound great, Jimmy.
That the Cardinals are expecting sent Rodney Hudson to retire. He played just 4 games last season due to a knee injury. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for a nice start to the week. Temperatures today right around 72 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, we'll start to see those clouds thicken up a bit with those temperatures dipping down into those low 50s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
It doesn't matter what you drive, it's how you get.
Can you guys let me produce?
Eric, we've seen it all and fixed it all. Get your vehicle in Brake Master shape today. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters.
Well, I'm done doing a different show this week, so. What was that?
Calling all sports with
ASU hockey ends this week, thank God.
Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
So should the Suns retire Kevin Durant's number now?
Damn Skippy, man.
Just do it. Put it up there in the rafters.
Hoist it now, Ron.
Give it to him now. Number 35, Kevin Durant, as he drains that go-ahead basket last night in the closing seconds, actually in the afternoon, as the Suns held on to beat, I would say, one of the rivals for this organization,
Sure,
Dallas Mavericks. They've had their number. D-backs will be at it again today, but yesterday they got a win over the Guardians. And ASU is getting set to square off against Oregon State on Wednesday in the Pac-12 tournament. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. We are out here at the CAZ Sports Bar. That's the home of the CAZ Sports Book. And we're excited to be here for March. We're here every Monday, but for March, as we will be announcing on Wednesday how you can win a trip to Houston for the Final Four. Yes, 6 tickets, a pair for 2 games on Saturday, a pair for Monday in the championship, a 3-night stay, all that just by liking the Casino Arizona Instagram page. So we'll have more on that on Wednesday. That's when that'll go live, but just kind of give you a heads up that is coming. But this is a great place to watch games, 2 theater, projection screens, 46 4K flat screens, a sports book that's here. There's people there that can take your bets personally, or you can use the kiosks. And it's the home of Take the Points, which you can hear Saturdays from 11 to 1 here on Fox Sports 910. So that's what's going on here at the casino. But let's tell you what's going on here locally in sports.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, of course, it's Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns and their big win yesterday over Dallas. It's refreshing to see the the energy that this organization has instilled into this market. You couldn't go to a sports bar yesterday and not have the game on with the sound and it being loud with a lot of people. And that's the way it was yesterday. And it's just kind of cool that this town, this fan base, is embracing this Phoenix Suns team in the way they are. It's something that this town has been, hoping for so long. It doesn't matter what team, but now you have a team that you can feel it. You can feel it that this team has something, and that is Kevin Durant.
Well, especially after winning the 3 in a row and beating Chicago and then beating Dallas, to your point, with the stories behind the story with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, a little dust up at the end of the game. But, you're feeling, I think, guys, playoff basketball kind of atmosphere. Close game all the way through in reference to what we saw in yesterday's game. So those are some of the things that you can really appreciate in reference to watching that game yesterday and them being close and scoring, and then the last-second shot there by KD. And you said, Rock, KD and Devin Booker, and then the rest of them pretty much, being a part of this team. But Book is really, really taking advantage of all the things that are going on with KD and him. So, guys, to see the dynamic duo doing their thing and winning these 3 in a row.
We'll dive into that and with some sound in the next segment. Let's stay with basketball. ASU didn't get by USC over the weekend. That was unfortunate. Now they're set to square off against Oregon State on Wednesday. That's when the Pac-12 tournament will start in Las Vegas. They're a 6th seed. They finished 20-11 on the year, 11-9 in conference play. The guys down in Tucson, they're a 2nd seed. Arizona, they have a first-round bye. And GCU will take on UT Arlington tomorrow in the first round of the WAC tournament in Vegas. And a little bit later, you're going to hear from Mitch Stroman, the voice of the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, who won a buzzer beater. And we have some incredible sound to share with you today. Multiple buzzer beaters yesterday. And we're going to bring them to you. It's going to be a lot of fun a little bit later in the program.
Jimmy, how the alumni at Eastern Washington?
I knew you were going to say that. I'm still bumming. It wasn't a good day.
You didn't even know they were playing.
Well, I did too. It wasn't a good day.
Were you at your local beverage stand watching it?
Did you say, "Hey, can you put on the NAU Eastern Washington game on, please"?
I thought for sure Eastern would take care of them without
their number one seed. They should have.
But hey, that's why you play the game, right? You can always look on paper. Oh, this team is just going to dominate them. Look at the difference in their records. No, go play the game and see what happens. You get the buzzer beater, and you're out that fast.
Well, they beat Idaho the day before, so they are coming off of that win, winning pretty handily, and you just think of Eastern Washington having to bye and taking that on. But the Lumberjacks getting hot there. Great calls by Mitch, and great call. Was it the Taboo Network that I saw that? Is that what it was? The Taboo Sports Network? Whatever. Great calls and great theater for the Lumberjacks to proceed on and playing whomever tomorrow night.
You know, the college scene right now as we get ready for this coming week in the conference tournaments, some have already begun, however. And I'm really excited about Kennesaw State. First time ever that they're ever going to go to the dance. I was dialed into that game.
Kennesaw State?
Yes.
Is that Georgia?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. Have you done a game in Kennesaw State?
I have not.
Okay.
No. But
it is Georgia.
They were, but no, the game was played in North Carolina.
But I asked where that school was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to. I just
Georgia. Yes. Okay.
I know my place on the show. I just know. I just got to sit here, let the older guys take over. Got to respect my elders.
Don't throw us, Ross. Don't throw those curveballs in there.
Hey, moving on. Some NFL news. Derek Carr is now a Saint. New Orleans Saints as. He is heading over there, and what's cool about this deal, it's a 4-year deal worth up to $150 million with around $100 million in guarantees as the Saints managed to kind of move under the cap by backloading it to later years. Then it's been reported that Carr did receive a no-trade clause to go with this new contract, so this is a move that will allow him to control his future and free agency when it comes up in about 4 years. This is a great signing for them. I think this is a perfect fit. What's he, 37, and he's got a no-trade clause? I mean, this is a great place for him.
Yeah, I think you look at the intangibles around him, too, being in New Orleans, dome facility. You look at the NFC South opportunity for him to win. Is it easier for him to win in the NFC South than the AFC East?
Absolutely.
With the Jets. I would have loved to see him go to the Jets because I think they're ready to get to the playoffs from the standpoint of their defense. and the players around him. But, when you get a user-friendly confines and you look at the South and all the things that he could benefit from, and maybe it's weather, type of thing. But he's got to believe that they've got an opportunity with him to finally getting the chance of winning the NFC South.
He gets out of a division that has, and I expect Russell Wilson to bounce back, but has three top quarterbacks for those respective teams. And he's out of the division for the team that just won the Super Bowl as well. And Tom Brady is gone from Tampa. So this changes the whole dynamic of how the New Orleans Saints are going to kind of set themselves up.
Because you don't know who's going to be the quarterback of Carolina.
Exactly.
You talk about Tampa and you look at all the other teams. So it's a good move and very user-friendly contract. And now the Aaron Rodgers watch. Is it on?
Well, Raiders are now the betting favorites.
Them or the Jets, either or?
No, the betting favorite is Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders.
See, I would think it'd be
betting favorite.
I hear you, right. No, I hear you.
The betting.
But I would think that the wise guys in Vegas who set the betting favorites,
who are saying that Aaron Rodgers is.
I would think this is Nathaniel Hackett, his favorite former offensive coordinator, is now with the New York Jets. Who's got a better team of going to the playoff? A better team of going to the playoffs versus the Raiders might be the odds on, but. Again, it could be one of those situations. Aaron Rodgers, he's got all the money in the world.
Yes.
Where's the best opportunity to win if he gets traded away to the team? I think it's the Jets or he stays.
All right. Don't you think, though, that Rodgers is going back to Brett Favre, leaving from the Green Bay Packers and going to the New York Jets, and he's following that same suit?
He could.
And maybe he just doesn't want to be associated with something like that.
But remember, guys, not Rodgers, but Favre retired. He quit.
He did.
He quit. He was done. He was done with the Packers. So they moved on.
Yes.
The general manager, I believe, Thompson at the time, moved on. And they moved on. They're okay. All right, that's rearview mirror stuff. He has not retired or moved on. He's still in the fold. So I think that's the difference. And it's a different scenario knowing that he's got opportunities where Favre quit, and Favre is looking for opportunity. But the leverage, I quite frankly think, is just for the Packers. And look, we still want you if you want to be here. If you don't, we just want to know. Is Love, we want to move forward with Love. We can adjust with the free agency. We can adjust with the draft. They just want some kind of a feeling or a nod. You want to stay or you want to go? Just let us know. Where Favre quit, he retired, and they moved on.
2 minutes.
Robbie Anderson of the Cardinals, he has been cut, or will be cut, as they have said. What a bad deal that was.
His name's Chosen now. Sorry. Chosen Anderson.
And it's Robbie with a Y on Tuesdays, Robbie with an IE on Monday. Correct. So
what
a joke. Good. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. You just saved the Cardinals $12 million in 2023 salary cap. So that's good. But get rid of it. It wasn't even worth the pick that they gave him. 7 catches in 10 games.
That's horrible. One of the last bad moves that Steve Keim made, which came really in the no play. And when you need a guy, they had speed, they had length, they could stretch the field, which, again, Kurt never did. He never utilized the wares or the prowess of one Robbie Anderson. Oh, excuse me, the chosen one. Chosen Anderson. Whatever.
Chosen. I can't say what I want to say on the air. Our State 48 Roofing Get Your Call question of the day. It's up on our Twitter page at Roc and Manuch. What percentage of the Suns' 3-game win streak do you credit towards the presence of Kevin Durant? 100%, 75%, 50%, or 25%? Go vote, and we'll have an update throughout the show. We're going to talk about this Phoenix Suns team specifically yesterday. It was exactly what the doctor ordered. Hands down. Suns, Mavs, what a great game. National television. We're going to have some of the sounds of the week next, brought to you by our Valley Chevy dealers. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 from the CAC Sportsbook.
Sun Devil Hockey finishes the inaugural season at Mullet Arena this weekend, and Saturday is senior night. Join us at 6:30 on Friday and Saturday for ASU and LIU here on Fox Sports 910, the home of Sun Devil Hockey. Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
The right price, the right selection. It's all now at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Stop by today and see why Wright Toyota continues to be Arizona's top Toyota dealership, located just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Before new Cascade Platinum Plus, I would pre-rinse all my dishes because my old detergent just wouldn't get them clean. But now I do dishes differently. A no pre-wash, no rewash, money-back guaranteed kind of different. Because Cascade Platinum Plus has double the grease fighting power of Dawn built right in, with twice the scrubbing power, giving me a clean that lets me break all the dish rules. I just scrape, load, and I'm done. Yep. So clean. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I dare to dish differently.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meant for mornings. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen tomorrow, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910. Time for the Valley Chevy dealers' top plays of the week.
Dancing and looking and directing traffic, and look at the length of this play. Murray to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to convert it. That's unbelievable.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. Set up a test drive by heading to valleychevy.com. Now today's top plays on Roc and Manuch with Jim on Fox Sports 910.
Heck of a game yesterday as the Suns took care of the Mavs. The game was tied at 124 with a minute to play. Ayton puts up that tip in. I was like, oh, he is in the game.
No, I was just going to say.
I was like, that was a miss by
last time he scored, Rock, is the 6-minute mark of the first quarter.
I know. And it was just, wow. But, again, he only had 9 points. He had 16 boards. And if that's what he needs to do for this team to win, and Chris Paul's numbers haven't been good yet. They don't jump out at you. He hasn't been doing much, and he missed some pretty open shots that he should have made, as open as he was. But the big win, Suns moved to 36-29, and they will play Wednesday at home. So that will be the home opener of Kevin Durant, and the Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town. But, yeah, what a great ball game. What a great ball game.
Don't you find it interesting how seamless this transition has been? And I went back and I was thinking about how good he was at Oklahoma City and then the people that left. And he went to Golden State, and it was pretty much a seamless transition when he showed up at Golden State. And why is that? Because he's not ball-centric. He doesn't need the ball in his hand constantly in order to be effective. Then he teams up with Kyrie, and when they were healthy, they were a dynamite team, but they were never healthy much, and they had all kinds of off-the-court issues, and it never really worked out. So now he comes to the Valley of the Sun, and it took them pretty much one game to figure out where he likes to go and at what time on the shot clock he likes to be and how he likes to receive the basketball. And from that standpoint, guys, this team is only going to get better. If their health stays just fine, this team is only going to get better. And that was a tremendous game that we saw Sunday afternoon in Dallas. It really felt like a playoff game. It had that feel to it.
I watched him. Yeah, I think the rest of them are picking up on his energy. I really do. I mean, he's out. He's feeling good. He hasn't played.
Feeling great.
Feeling good. But it's the defensive side. You watch him, how hard he works on defense. Some of the key rebounds he's got, some of the passes that he had, that one pass to DA early on in that first quarter, little bounce pass went and stuffed it. I mean, his vision of the court, his feel of the game, and then when you got D-Book and him both kind of playing off of each other, I think that's one of the main keys there. And I think to your point, Rock, about, well, DA hasn't been needed that much, or CP3.
Oh, he's been needed.
They've been needed, but
he has a different role.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was going to get to. It's a different role. It's more rebounding. If he needs to score, it sounds like he'll get into that.
No, he won't.
Being around it, yeah, he will. They'll feed it to him as they did like down low yesterday. Now,
they didn't 9 points.
They didn't need him to score yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Booker and Durant were doing all of the score. They were feeling it, so they didn't have any go-to needs for him. He was cleaning the boards and getting the ball outside. That was his role.
I still think the team is missing a banger. They need somebody big in there.
Well, it was supposed to be the guy that they brought in the Durant deal, TJ, but he's not getting minutes.
I don't get that.
He's not getting minutes. Look, Okogie has taken over that spot, and he has earned the minutes that he is getting. And it's funny because the game prior to yesterday, he scores 25. And then in the game yesterday, he's not near that number, but it didn't matter because you got help from so many other guys.
And Wainwright, he was nothing early on in that game. And all of a sudden he's in the fourth quarter and he popped through a few threes.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's 4 out of 5.
Is great.
Yes.
But he's a big kid too. I mean, he's a big kid.
He could be a banger.
Yeah, he's a former football player, tight end kind of guy that can come in there and do things. But he played 7 guys off the bench yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting, rotating those guys all, and they all, I felt, did their role. To your point, Rob, their role in reference to what he needed out of them. And when it came down to closing the deal, obviously KD's the guy to close that deal.
Speaking of close the deal, let's get to some of the sound. Here is KD drills the dagger to secure the win yesterday against the Mavs.
Right with 8 to shoot. Back to KD with 6. Durant driving on Hardaway. Pull-up jumper. Durant got it! And Phoenix has a 2-point lead. 35 for Durant in just his 3rd game as a Sun.
Dave Pash the call on ESPN. I think one of the big plays of the game happened just before this when he hits this 3 that made the score 121 to 120.
Defensive player on his back. He was up and in. Durant. A 3. Swishes home. He's got 33 points. That's his 3rd 3 ball. The Suns by 1, our 11th lead change.
A lot of lead changes.
Just the shooting of Doncic, him,
and Irving.
Booker, Irving.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun to see these stars on the court at the same time, looking to try and win, and not just show off or play.
It's a regular season game. It's a regular season game, and the atmosphere in that building and the competition level felt like it was a first-round playoff.
I think
game.
the NBA.
It really did.
I think the NBA right now in general is like that.
It is.
The Memphis Clippers game was a 6-point game. That Knicks Boston game was great. Went double overtime.
Yep.
Knicks have won 9 in a row. Portland Orlando was a 3-point game. Lakers Golden State.
Unbelievable.
Indiana Chicago was a 3-point game. I mean, I have not been an NBA fan like this I can't tell you, maybe since the 90s that I'm watching the NBA. I'll peek in, watch the highlights like you say all the time, Manuch, but I'm actually turning these games on when there's 5 minutes remaining, and they're all good games because you're getting the stars. The stars are playing.
Don't you think that this is the first time, maybe since the 90s, Jim, you know more than we would, that the stars are spread out more? You mean, look at
there's 2 on every team.
Exactly. So I think that's what,
at least.
And you look at these games coming down the wire, who you going to? The stars. I think there's that parity that when we come with 17 games left for the Suns and most NBA guys, that those guys are getting dialed in. The other thing I thought was interesting was the quote unquote little rivalry between Luka and Booker, and then now
that was fun.
And then watching.
Let's get to that sound, Manuch.
Yeah, let's do it.
So things did get heated, as you just mentioned, and here is how this all went down. It's about a minute and 10 or so of Luka and Booker. If you did not get a chance to see it or hear it, here it is, courtesy of ESPN.
Here's Luka Doncic driving, spinning on Okogie, getting deep, creating space. Missed it.
I trimmed it down to a minute.
Gets the rebound. Doncic was upset he missed the shot, that he didn't foul Durant until another second went off the clock. And now Durant will shoot free throws, and Devin Booker and Doncic go face to face.
Well, you know what?
It's Wainwright has to step in. It all here. You see Durant getting the rebound after the miss by Doncic. Then he commits the foul.
Yeah. Now just watch. He's upset. Now you can see right there. You see Booker, he's yapping at him right now. And that caused that incident right there.
The Dallas players are still crowding the foul line where Durant was going to take the free throws. The officials have to separate more players.
Watch it right now. Now what you see, you're going to see he's yapping at him right there.
I think he's talking to Eric Lewis, the official. I wonder if he's saying that should have been a foul on Doncic against Torrey Craig. And Luka didn't like that, so he went after Booker.
Right.
All right, this may not sound favorable, but Devin Booker should not have had words for Doncic for missing that shot.
I agree.
Because something could have happened and it could cost the game.
Sure.
He did get that offensive foul, right? By Doncic.
Yes, he did.
I mean, and then Doncic looked at Booker and said, "Shut the F up."
Yep.
And then the two go nose to nose, as you just heard. But it could have been a situation where only one got the technical foul, not both. I mean, it washed, but it could have made a difference in the game. So I'm glad that that's a side of Devin Booker we don't see very often, and I'm glad he got in his face. I would have liked to see that maybe in the first quarter.
So I'm happy. I'm happy now because there is a rivalry.
Exactly.
Brewing. See, you don't
I think
have
there's
that.
always been a rivalry brewing because the Mavs and the Suns have been a rivalry, and because of Ayton and Doncic, it's been one.
It has,
right? Because of first and second picks,
but maybe not to the level.
Not to this level. Yeah, correct.
Now.
I agree with that. Yes,
that it is.
And you'll now have a rivalry with KD and Kyrie Irving.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you look at those two; they didn't exchange.
Are they? They don't even like each other.
Well,
they don't
that's
even
what I'm
talk.
saying. They didn't.
So I don't know if that's even a big deal if they're not even going to go at each other.
They don't. That's part of the rivalry. They don't like each other. They don't want to deal with each other. That's part of what Jimmy's getting at. Is okay. Don't like a guy. You want to show him up. And number one, I thought it was interesting how Lucas said in the locker room, "Oh, so he wants to pop off with 3 seconds to go in the game."
Would you like to play that sound, Manuch?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's we have the sound.
I
here.
get it.
I think our guests, our listeners, would like to hear it.
I'm just setting it up
from
there
them, not from you. Here's Luka Doncic on the Trash Talk with Suns Devin Booker.
I don't think you can say that in camera. He was talking to you, or he was talking to the ref? No, he was talking to me, and it's not for TV. I will get fined. NBA will find you.
Yeah, he said he was talking to the ref at first. Is that not true?
I mean, based on the words, I don't think so. It's fine. It's just a competitive game, man. It's all good. Just next time, don't wait till it's 3 seconds left to top.
That was my point earlier.
I love it.
I would like to see it in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But Doncic, I mean, he's a crybaby anyway.
Oh, sure.
There doesn't go
2 minutes.
A sequence in a game where he's not bitching at the ref because he's getting fouled.
Well,
but I got to tell you, man, he is one of my favorite players to watch.
He's a great player.
He's just the stuff that he does.
Yes.
It's amazing.
He's a great player. And the way that he goes about his business, guys, he did not have a good afternoon shooting from the outside. At one time, he was 1 of 7 and then finally got it going a little bit. Yet here they are, meaning the Mavericks, in this game against the Suns, and they're taking it all the way down to the wire. I want to give a shout out
to your girl?
Nope. To 89-year-old, not me, 89-year-old Hubie Brown doing the color commentary on that game. And he is
Still
so
sharp.
point
Still sharp.
on with everything he says. Everything.
Hey, it's right around the corner. Our Twin Peaks fan pick'em win 9-10 on 9-10 bracket challenge. It's our 18th year. Multiple ways to win. It's a 3-in-1 bracket. You got a 16, 4, and overall. Man cards at every turn. It's our biggest ever. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. We are going to be at one of the 4 locations throughout the year, starting on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. That whole week, we will be on location at a different Twin Peaks. And then the following week will be Thursday, Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope that you'll be able to join us out there, and some more prizes to add in the next couple days. So if you want to get an early preview on it, you can go to rockandmanuch.com or fanpick'em.com. We're going to shift gears, talk some football. Former ASU and NFL QB Rudy Carpenter will join us next, give us his thoughts on some of the standouts from the combine and who he feels the Cardinals have interest in the upcoming draft. That's next as we're live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Hey, Manuch.
Trending on Fox Sports 9.
Hey, I was gonna play that sound, but you guys talked a little bit early. But I think it was better. I think you should probably save that for later.
An acquisition crunches 7 passes.
Well, I was supposed to play the Knicks sound there, and I was going to, but then I podded you guys out.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up.
Rudy's good.
Got a man, McGahey, touchdown. And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
You guys are hot.
Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
Rudy Carpenter now on the right to the guest line. You can follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12 as he just got back from
He just dropped on
the
me.
combine, and we're going to catch up with him in just a couple minutes here. We just dropped him on the phone. But he is driven today by All City Towing. You can start out the 2023 year with a new career. How about that? At All City Towing, they have multiple full-time positions, incredible benefits. They got a 401k program with a generous company match. The fastest way to apply is online at allcitytowing.com. Just search careers. That's allcitytowing.com. But we'll talk to Rudy, get his thoughts on Derek Carr going to the Saints, just the quarterback carousel, and who's next? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it Jimmy Garoppolo?
He's ready.
Will Lamar stay in Baltimore or maybe go to Washington? I mean, all kinds of great rumors. But Rudy joins us now. Rudy, what would you say is the biggest? I mean, you've been going to these combines for a long time. Has it changed much over the years, or it's still pretty much the same?
He's dropped again.
All right, we're having issues with his phone.
All right, so I'm sure he said it's changed, and Let
me call him again.
Yeah,
right.
We'll try him again.
We're trying to connect with him again. Welcome to the world of technology. That's it.
I think in one reference with the money these guys are making from years past, that they can't vet enough. And what a lot of them have told me is that a lot of the interviews, obviously watching them with their tangibles and their verticals, their speeds, their throwing, all the above, is their vet process has probably gone, I would say, borderline ridiculous. A lot of the questions they ask, because these guys are now corporations versus players for 3, 4, 5 years. And I think a lot of these teams feel with the pressure on a lot of these particular these teams, feel they can't make a mistake. So they're going to do anything and everything they can. And when you hear some of the questioning that a lot of these draft choices have had, they said it's been borderline absurd, but they've got to answer. You might get a ridiculous question, but you got to act as though that's the one. That's probably the best question they're going to ask you in this situation. You don't want to give the impression, well, I'm just going to blow them off because I'll just go do my pro day, whatever. No, that's not it. These guys look at everything before they make that final call on who they're going to draft in reference. And also it's in reference to their decisions on free agency. There's enough guys that they feel comfortable with. Okay, now we can strategize our free agency where we want to go based on who we like coming out of the draft.
The thing about the combine that I find interesting is the question and answer session. And even though we're not privy to the inside stuff, it's the questions that a lot of these general managers and coaches present to that particular player and trying to get some sort of feedback. And we have heard some of the outrageous questions that have been asked in the past, and they've tried to clean that up a little bit. I'm just curious if that is still the case, or if indeed they have indeed cleared up some of those ridiculous questions that have been asked in the past.
Well, and I think, Jimmy, you look at,
because they have asked some really stupid things.
Yeah, and I think they do it on purpose. They want to get a response. They're like I said, there's a method to their madness. They want to go ahead and okay, speed's the name of the game in reference. Running backs used to be highly touted, right?
Yes.
Well, they're not quite so highly touted before. Remember the era, Rock, of the left tackle was the
spot.
Well, it was the spot. Now it's the down defensive lineman or the edge rusher. So I think things are cyclical at the different positions. But if you're in need of a potential, I would say a guy that can come in and you can build around him, i.e. a franchise quarterback, does that staff have the time in order to go ahead and draft that rookie, build him up, or are they a quarterback right now with their jobs on the line the next couple of years?
I just the challenge, and you and I, Manuch, we went back and forth with Jax on Friday about the combine, like it, don't like it. I just don't like the fact that there's several prospects that are there, and they get to choose to perform in what test they want to prove. And that's the part that I think is a joke. If you're going to do the combine, it needs to be level. If someone's going to decide to do the 40-yard dash, then you need to do it. If you're going to do the agility and the shuttle drills, you need to do that, or the explosiveness on the broad and the vertical jumps that they do, right?
Right.
I mean, how do you exceed expectations if you're not performing all those different
because
tests?
They all say they're going to wait for their pro day.
Rudy's ready. Go long.
Rudy joins us now. We got you, Rudy.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, good, buddy. We're talking about the combine, obviously, the events that took place at Lucas Oil Stadium there in Indianapolis. You've been going for a long time. Are there much changes over the years? Have you noticed much of a change year to year?
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, there's a fan experience now where they're letting fans into the actual combine.
Okay.
Whether you were an agent or a fan or anybody, you could never get in there and watch. This year, they were allowing all of us to be in there to watch, which was interesting. But I think the probably the more interesting piece from the NFL standpoint is that it seems as if, teams are sending less personnel to the combine. It used to be in years past that the entire organization went, and it was as much of a big party as it was information gathering along with, networking and everything else. But it seems as if teams have been, sending less personnel to the combine than in years past.
And Rudy, it seems as though year in and year out, the kind of the flavor of the week, if you will. Sometimes it was a left tackle several years ago, running backs, wide receivers last year, or quarterbacks, what have you. What was kind of the position or the flavor of the week in reference to positions or position this last week?
I don't know. I think it's hard to tell. I think that the reason why that is because there's always a couple stories and narratives going into it. And when you had the whole Jalen Carter thing, I think that kind of changed, the storylines and everything else. It really, a lot of it became about him. Most people think he's the best player in the draft. Now all of a sudden he's got, 2 misdemeanor charges against him. And what does that really do? And then, you have the testing of a guy like, Anthony Richardson, which he plays a premier position at quarterback. There's already a lot of intrigue. And then he puts up these, real gaudy numbers for how big he is, how tall he is, how much he weighs. And he starts getting crazy comparisons, to Cam Newton and Dante Culpepper, et cetera, et cetera. And, that's kind of what happens at the combine. To me, I'm just honestly still shocked that the NFL players or these college players are even participating in the combine without being compensated. I honestly am shocked by it.
Do they have to sign some kind of a waiver, Rudy, before they go to the combine that the NFL is not responsible if they get hurt or injured in that particular thing?
Well, of course. I mean, to me, that's one of the things that's just totally crazy. The NFL makes a lot of money off this. It's on TV for 4 or 5 days straight, all the sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera. And if you really think about it, there's a couple players per year that really, really help themselves. But the vast majority of these guys don't help themselves by participating in the combine. We see NBA players just come and go from the combine as they please, right? I'm just honestly shocked that more NFL players, haven't decided to do this. You see guys pull hamstrings and get hurt all the time at the NFL combine.
I'm real curious about what were your thoughts on this. Several years back, and Rock can remember this clearly, the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Mike Mamula, who at that time just blew away the combine. Everybody just went nuts over the stats that he put out in all of that. So does the combine and he turned out to just be a so-so journeyman type player in the NFL, Mike Mamula. In your estimation, does that still take place at the combine where somebody rises up really fast just because they ran faster, jumped higher, did the shuttle course faster? Or are they more now inclined to really bank on pro days for different players, especially skill players?
Well, I think there are still times where people fall in love with the beauty pageant and they draft a guy because of it. But with analytics and everything else, I obviously think teams are getting smarter and they're doing a much better job of trusting the film. A lot of times, really now, what teams are trying to see is, hey, how this guy plays on tape, does it match up with the numbers? And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get a guy that is just incredible on the field, but yet his numbers in the underwear Olympics just aren't great. And then you kind of put those things together. And then there's sometimes guys that they run crazy fast and they jump crazy high, and you look at their production and you're like, why is their production low? We have a receiver this year who's kind of like that. He's 6'5". He just at the combine, he's 6'5", he's 202 pounds, and he ran 4.37 and 4.39. And people ask, well, why wasn't he super productive at Georgia and then Arkansas? And if I am answering the question, it's because of opportunity. He didn't have a lot of it, right? He sat behind guys like George Pickens. So my point is the combine is a time where they can look at a guy like that and say, wow, he has all the height, weight, size, speed, everything that we want. Now let's go back and rewatch the film. And if they rewatch it and he's still a bum of a player, well, that's one thing. But if they rewatch it and they say, man, he's beating this guy every time, but for whatever reason the ball is going somewhere else, well then, hey, maybe that's when they change their mind. But, to me, the combine really for most of these teams is more about finding out medical information and getting a chance to sit down and talk with these guys face to face and find out who they are.
Rudy, Derek Carr is now with the Saints. Do you think that's a good fit?
I think it's great. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, to me, I think this year's quarterback market's weird. You don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. I guess you got Jimmy Garoppolo who's out there. I just think when you're the Saints, this makes, to me, a ton of sense. I personally think Derek Carr is a very good player. I'm not comparing him to Matthew Stafford or anything else. All I'm saying is football is a very difficult game. It's very tough to win in the NFL. And if you don't play for a good organization, I don't care how good of a player you are at the quarterback position, it's very, very difficult. To me, it's why Joe Burrow is really exceptional for what he's been able to do, with the Bengals, which is NFL Siberia for many years. So, it's not like Derek Carr's been in a very stable situation.
And Rudy, I guess the next domino we're waiting for to drop would be the decision of Aaron Rodgers, whether he wants to be traded, whether it be the Raiders, whether it be the Jets, whether he wants to stay. How vitally important is that the Packers get a decision sooner rather than later? And do you think one would be made before free agency starts next week?
I don't think one's going to be made, but I actually think the next big domino
2 minutes.
is whether or not the Ravens are going to place a franchise tag or an exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson, because if they place an exclusive tag on him and he gets a chance to go negotiate elsewhere, I mean, if you're the Jets, you better be, driving down to Baltimore as quickly as you can to put some kind of offer sheet in front of him. So, or even the Atlanta Falcons. So, to me, that's a really big domino that we're going to figure out here in the next week.
Rudy, we always appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the time today.
All right, guys. Take care.
Rudy Carpenter joining us here on the Right Toyota guest line, and you can follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12, former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback. Coming up, we got some police blotter. Got 2 NBA players in trouble, 1 NFL player in trouble, and 1 Major League Baseball player kind of in trouble. It's all next as we continue from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And online at WrightToyota.com.
The people of Arizona have voted, and the results are official. Lerner Rowe has won again, being voted best personal injury law firm 8 years in a row. We'd like to thank everyone who voted, making Lerner Rowe the people's choice for personal injury. What makes this so popular? We've helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. We're recovering more money for more people than any other law firm in Arizona. Call us today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B at Twin Peaks for all the March action. Enjoy great food and drink specials and watch all the games on the best TVs in town. For details on the guys' live broadcasts, head to rockandmanuch.com. It's going on right now at all 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations.
Hey, it's Jody Ayler for Plum Smart Plumbing, Heating, and Air. One of the many things I love about Plum Smart, they're different from every other plumbing, heating, and cooling company out there. Plum Smart doesn't make you choose between good service or good prices. They give you the best of both worlds. Outstanding service with outstanding prices. How about right now, Plum Smart will do a drain cleaning for you for $49 with no trip charge. That's half the price of most other deals out there. Go to their website, itsjustplumsmart.com. That's itsjustplumsmart.com because plumbers charge too much.
And Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what
10 seconds, come back with police blotter.
Fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Even professional athletes and celebrities find themselves in trouble with the law. For the latest news, here's Roc's Police Blotter.
You guys are hot.
Fox Sports 910.
Got a few here. Former Michigan State basketball star Keith Appling will spend between 18 and 40 years in prison for killing a relative in 2021. He pleaded guilty last month to second-degree murder in a shooting death of his cousin. Just what a mess that is. Joshua Sills of the Eagles is set to appear in court this week in Eastern Ohio on rape and kidnapping charges. He didn't play in the Super Bowl because of the pending charges. He has been free on bail. So prosecutors are alleging that he forced a woman into non-consensual sex, held the victim against her will back in December of 2019. He appeared in just one game for the Eagles this past season. John Morant, you're hearing a lot about this lately. No timetable on his return to the Grizz. According to the head coach, you may have seen it on SportsCenter, Taylor Jenkins was speaking after the loss yesterday to the Clippers and said that he's been suspended and it's going to be kind of a wait and see, and basically went on to say that he's made some poor decisions and he's going to have to live by them, but he can't be appearing at a nightclub with a gun and knowing that it's going to be live streamed on Instagram the next day or that day.
And if I can add to Colorado, state police have opened up an investigation on him.
I saw that. I was going to get to that.
So,
but good job for adding that. Chicago White Sox pitcher Mike Clevenger is avoiding discipline from Major League Baseball over a domestic violence complaint. He was accused of domestic abuse by the mother of one of his children in January. He won't be suspended or fined following this investigation by the league. So we'll have to see. It included interviews of more than 15 individuals and thousands of electronic communication records like email and text and things like that. So he did sign a one-year deal with Chicago this offseason, that being the White Sox, $12 million.
Well, if they're going to bring any kind of charges, they want an ironclad situation. You bring kind of whether it's a pro athlete, entertainer, high-profile individual, they're going to bring it in front of you. They want to make sure they've got a pretty good chance of indicting you and then putting you away one way or the other, especially with the feds.
So there's some police blotter for you on a Monday. On this day, back in 1978, Hustler publisher Larry Flint was shot and left partially paralyzed by a sniper in Georgia, where he was on trial for distributing obscene materials. The great Walter Cronkite retired on this day 19 years ago. The anchorman, the original anchorman of CBS Evening News. And Mike Tyson's first professional fight ended with a knockout of Hector Mercedes in the first round in 1985. Some NBA news on this day. Shaquille O'Neal scored 61 points, 23 rebounds as they beat the Clippers back in 2000. And today's his birthday. He was born in 1972. So
you forget how dominant the guy was there for a period of time, just rebounding, scoring. I mean, at will. But it seemed like with Shaq, Jimmy, by the time it just kind of shut down was like overnight. It's the scoring side, more so than anything.
Correct. Yes, it did. But then after the Lakers, I mean, look how the guy shifted around to so many different teams as well, including playing here in Phoenix. So I found that interesting. He did win a title, however, when he went to Miami, and he teamed up with Dwayne Wade at that time.
You win 3 in a row in LA. Don't you want to keep that going? I mean, guys want to leave like KD and make it on their own.
Kobe Bryant, after Shaq left, came out and said, and he won another title when Paul Gasol,
right?
And they made that trade with Memphis, and they win the title. Kobe basically came out and said, I wanted to prove to everybody that I could win a title on my own.
The egos. I'm like, it's a team gig, is it not? I mean, I get it, understand.
This is coming from a quarterback. Well, you guys have the biggest egos.
We're not cocky, we're confident.
Whatever.
But let me tell you, it's a total team effort. QB can't get it all that by himself.
That is true.
That's very blocking, true. You need running backs, you need receivers.
That's why you need 10 more people to help you.
Absolutely. But when I hear a guy, God rest his soul, and you're a guy who, I want to prove I want to win it on my own. I mean, you got the makeup of a great team. You probably could have matched the Bulls. Maybe won 6 titles, maybe not in a row, but 6 titles, and you want to push him out the door or force him out the door because you want to do it on your own. I don't know. I don't get that kind of thinking. Like,
but you also wanted the challenge. Yeah, you won 3 in a row. All right, well, this is getting boring. Let's try it somewhere else.
Yeah, but I think that Shaq was a huge part of those 3 titles.
Oh, of course he was.
Yeah,
that's obvious. Yeah,
why wouldn't you want to keep the band together? You're making all kinds of hits,
because you had
also
conflicts.
got paid.
Yes,
he got paid.
He had conflicts. I mean, everybody has conflicts. That happens. And when you're in that, Manuch, you lived it. You were in that close environment, and you're guys that you don't want to talk to. that you only want to deal with when in your situation on the field. The same thing happens in basketball, and the situation with basketball, there are far fewer players, and so things don't go the way that players like it to go.
3 minutes.
Those conflicts can happen in
if
a hurry.
you're winning rings, you're winning rings. You put all that, you go on the court, you play together. You don't have to like each other.
But this is coming from someone who's never won a ring.
I'm close to it. We won an AFC East championship. We won that.
Close.
We playoff game.
Close isn't winning.
Yeah, but we had several guys that weren't very well liked in that locker room, but we dealt with them. Guys played with them for the common good of the team to win games.
Who's this we?
I didn't have any issues with the two individuals. There was three guys that weren't looked at very well in that locker room. But you know what? Come practice time, come game time, everybody's on the same. You went to work on the same page for the common goal to win it all. I just don't. I hear these. I want to win it by myself or this or that. Scottie Pippen was the same way until Michael came back. He's got. Well, we'll see if we can do it without Michael. No, you couldn't do it without Michael.
They lost in the semifinals. That's correct. And Pippen was a terrific player. He is the greatest Robin to Batman of probably all time. And he was a sensational player. He's in the Hall of Fame and listed as one of the top 75 players ever in the NBA. But by himself, he could not get it done.
Yeah, how'd that work out, Scotty?
There you go.
Speaking of Robin, Batman and Robin, I saw a commercial this morning of Robin, whatever his name is.
Burt Ward?
Yeah,
Burt Ward.
Pitching dog food.
Yeah, yeah. Heard him on the radio, heard him on TV.
I just saw it this morning.
The guy who
and it's him, and then he's got like 100 dogs, and he's pushing this food that allows your dog to live till he's like 30. I mean, it's like, and they're showing you all these dogs that are like 16, and they're running around like they're like puppies, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I was sold. I'm like, but then I was like, Batman and Robin. I'm like, oh, that's Robin.
Didn't he tie in the whole Batman and Robin thing in that ad as well too? I thought he did. You might have known me from the original Batman and Robin.
1 minute.
Could have. Yeah. Hey, some terrible news today. Huge injury in Major League Baseball. Ambulance, the whole 9 yards during the game between the Red Sox and the Tigers today. Justin Turner was hit squarely in the face by an errant pitch and knocked him to the ground, and he had to be transported to the hospital. So the team is said that he is being treated for soft tissue injuries, and he's being monitored for concussion. So they'll have more tests, but went to a local hospital. So, man, that's a tough one, man. And it's hard to watch when you see the replay.
You go way back, Jimmy, thinking of Billy Conigliaro, one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Well, we lost on this day Kirby Puckett. I mean, remember he had that eye issue, but he died of a massive stroke. He died in Scottsdale at the age of 45 on this day in 2006. NAU Lumberjacks, they're in the news. Can't wait to get into that next. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
It's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. We love providing great food for family gatherings, parties, even work meetings. And we make it simple.
We sure do, no matter what the occasion. At Venezia's, we make catering easy. You can see our entire catering menu online at venezias.com. Or let us know how we can help at one of our 6 locations, including the newest, now open in Chandler.
We'd love to bring Venezia's to your next party. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no ability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
Finding a roofing contractor you can count on doesn't have to be difficult. At Caliber Roofing and Solar Services, they've been providing quality work to happy customers for the past 12 years. Family owned with over 20 years of experience. They're people you can trust with your roof replacement. Plus, they offer solar removal and installs. For a free estimate, call Caliber Roofing and Solar Services at 480-389-4954. That's 480-389-4954. Online at caliberroofingandsolar.com.
Springtime, the best time of the year here in sunny Arizona. Spring training, spring break, and of course, Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Enjoy this weather on one of their 3 spacious patios. One is smoke-free. Duke's, right on the Greenbelt at Miller and McDowell, has awesome food, great drink specials, and is totally dog-friendly. Meet up with your friends at Duke's for spring training.
Where? Duke's, Miller and McDowell, Scottsdale!
Now open in Rocky Point.
Before new Cascade Platinum Plus, I would pre-rinse all my dishes because my old detergent just wouldn't get them clean. But now I do dishes differently. And no pre-wash, no rewash, money-back guaranteed kind of different. Because Cascade Platinum Plus has double the grease fighting power of Dawn built right in, with twice the scrubbing power, giving me a clean that lets me break all the dish rules. I just scrape, load, and I'm done. Yep. So clean. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I dare to dish differently.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
The Suns are undefeated in 3 games with Kevin Durant in the lineup after yesterday's win against the Mavericks. They got a couple of games at home this week, starting on Wednesday against the Thunder. NFL Network reporting the Cardinals intend to release wide receiver Chosen Anderson. The midseason acquisition caught just 7 passes for 76 yards in 10 games. Arizona stands pat at 9th in the latest USA Today men's basketball coaches poll. Their Pac-12 tournament gets started Thursday when they play the Utah-Stanford winner. ASU opens Wednesday against Oregon State. The Diamondbacks taking on the Royals today. I'm Frank Harity on Fox Sports 910.
What did I do?
Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Temperatures today right around 72 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, we'll start to see those clouds thicken up a bit with those temperatures dipping down into those low 50s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Don't sell your jewelry for scrap. At E.D. Marshall Jewelers, we need your fine jewelry, watches, and coins, and we'll pay the highest possible prices. Find us online at edmarshallbuys.com. Our new store hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports.
Guys are hot.
Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B out here at the CAZ Sports Bar as we are getting into some of the top stories this hour. I think the big one, of course, is still the hangover of Kevin Durant and Booker and their performance yesterday against the Dallas Mavericks. What a game that was. What a great NBA game. National televised. I think the whole community is just loving what they're seeing right now, and they're backing up all the hype. The team is actually backing up the hype. And they will have Oklahoma City on Wednesday. But you got to love what we saw yesterday. 3rd game from KD. Another incredible performance by Devin Booker. We saw what DeAndre Ayton can do in regards to getting 16 boards. The court general in CP3 and what he's been able to do. I think he's the CP3. Yeah, CP3.
Got it. That's
CP3.
That's correct.
And
it's not C3PO.
I know, not C3PO. So I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting times for now, and you're not trying to put the cart before the horse, but it's hard not to.
I hear you.
It's hard not to just fast forward it to the NBA Finals.
I hear you.
It really is.
Christmas couldn't come fast enough, Rock.
Yes.
Kind of like you're waiting. It's like that the 2 weeks before Christmas, you see the presents up underneath the tree. the festivities, the lights, all the above. You're like, oh man, I just can't wait to unwrap that bad boy. But you got to wait. Every once in a while, your parents are like, okay, we'll go to midnight mass. You get to open up 2 when you get home.
Yeah.
And then we got to wait till the next morning. I'm like, can we just fast forward?
I know.
Let's go.
It kind of ruins the whole thing. It gives us something to talk about every day. Let's bring back some of the sound from yesterday as well. I think it is all about Suns right now. And here is a big play by Kevin Durant where he drills the dagger to secure the win over the Mavs.
Right with 8 to shoot. Back to KD with 6. Durant driving on Hardaway. Pull-up jumper. Durant got it! And Phoenix has a 2-point lead. 35 for Durant in just his 3rd game as a Sun.
So, Jimmy, is you've seen a lot of unstoppable shots in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I'll think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the hook.
Sky hook.
Is that MIDI, as they call it, by KD, unstoppable? Guy 7 foot shoots it about another 5 feet high. It comes on. I mean, is that an unstoppable shot when it goes down low
really,
like that?
because if you go back to the first game that he played at Carolina, he was on the baseline and a guy came from the weak
that's
side.
One out of like 1,000.
I'm just saying that he blocked the shot. No, it is not an unstoppable shot, but it is close. The only thing that Durant does that is so much better, the way that he can beat the defender, is that he falls away from you when he shoots that shot at mid-range.
See Charles Barkley.
There you go. And
fadeaway.
The fadeaway jumper, and that makes it almost unstoppable to defend.
I think that was you're talking about when Smith blocked that shot.
Yes.
When they played last week. That's against Charlotte. That's the only time I've ever seen a shot blocked against Kevin Durant. And I think that him timed it rightly and just got it. But I think it's when he's on the elbow or he's out, I think it's totally unstoppable. At least getting the shot off.
You're not going to stop him now because he is facing the defender. And you're absolutely correct. He never saw the defender come from the blind side and got up to block that shot. But what Durant does so well, and I go back to Dirk Nowitzki, because you couldn't block Nowitzki's shot either with that one-legged, that fall-away one-legged shot that Dirk had that put him in the top 10 in scoring. Durant has that similar shot.
It's so effortless.
Yes.
It's just he makes it look so easy, and it doesn't matter how close that defender's in his face. Mm-hmm. He's just so much fun to watch.
When he went up to try to forget who was guard and went up to try to block it, he had another 3 feet on the shot. So he's another 7-footer.
Right.
And when he fade away shoots, it seems like he shoots another 4 or 5 feet in the air as it rains down. But you know what? And it's his defense. I think just his energy, even with 2 weeks to go, basically games has all the Suns like, damn, you know, he's fired up. He's ready to go.
To your guys' point about Durant and some defense here, I do want to play what was great was that block on Irving. Here it is. This is fourth quarter when the score was 108-105. This is courtesy of ESPN.
And look for himself selfishly. He took the track. Irving into the paint. Rejected by Durant. Paul trying to save it, does.
Rejected.
You know what? And you watch. I was looking for KD and did he say anything to him? Did he say anything to him? When they run down the court, where you at? Where you at now, Kyrie? Yeah, I mean, I don't see that kind of smack talking out of KD, but it's just kind of fun to see. Okay, we got some rivalries here in the playoffs with this guy and that guy, and we got no friendship lost between those two whatsoever, but. Just a good, solid game to be watching.
We did see some smack talk, and it was it was by Devin Booker. Here is how things got heated between both of them, Devin Booker and Luka Doncic.
Here's Luka Doncic driving, spinning on a Kobe, getting deep, creating space, missed the shot! Durant gets the rebound. Doncic was upset he missed the shot, that he didn't foul Durant until another second went off the clock. And now Durant will shoot free throws, and Devin Booker and Doncic go face to face. Well, you know what? It's Wainwright has to step in. But all here, you see Durant getting the rebound after the miss by Doncic. Then he commits the foul. Yeah. Now just watch. He's upset. Now you can see right there. You see Booker, he's yapping at him right now. And that caused that incident right there. The Dallas players are still crowding the foul line where Durant was going to take the free throws. The officials have to separate more players. Watch it right now. Now what you see, you're going to see he's yapping at him right there. Yapping. I think he's talking to Eric Lewis, the official. I wonder if he's saying that should have been a foul on Doncic against Torrey Craig. And Luka didn't like that, so he went after Booker.
Right. This is why this is so great. If that would have been a situation between two bench players by each respective team, we just would have blown it off, and it would not have gotten the play that it's getting. But it is two stars in the NBA, superstar power going after each other. Guys, I'll remember when Dr. J. Julius Erving got in a fight with Larry Bird.
Well, that was a fight.
It was a fight.
Yeah, that was a fight.
It was a fight. But I'm just saying that once you have your stars in the NBA get into it, I mean, it is on. And this is terrific for the NBA.
I'm just glad that the officials swallow their whistles as far as teeing anybody up at the end of the game.
They did.
And Rock, you brought this up earlier. It was very fortunate that you didn't see Dallas get a shot, because when you look at that, because matter of fact, when you saw Doncic go over to a point going, hey, he instigated in my face. He was pointing at Luka, and he was pointing at the bench. Hey, give replay, because he wanted a tee.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious what Booker might have said to him.
I will say,
don't be afraid of mixing a layup once in a while.
I will say this about the NBA officials: they're all really smart guys, and they take a lot of grief, not just from the players, but fan abuse as well. But they handled that game yesterday, I thought, really well.
What could have been reviewed there, Jimmy? I mean, because Luka was replay. He was pointing at the bench. What could have been replayed?
Nothing. He was just trying to stir it up even more. Nothing could be replayed. They're trying
because they never touched, did they?
No.
Noses never touched.
No, they're just trying to work the officials. That's what great players do. Jordan did it. Bird did it. You can go. The Doctor did it. You can go on forever. Magic did it. They all tried to work officials in their favor.
Hey, D-Book, just be careful. You don't want that to ever come back and haunt you, because Booker's had over the years, he's had times where he's chirped in at the wrong time. You've gotten technicals. He's gotten kicked out.
Yes.
We've seen they've been in games several years ago. I would just say, just check that. Just wait till the game's over. I mean, I think that's the most important part. I mean, here you are. You're winning by 1, and this comes down to the wire. And by the way, look, don't be afraid to mix in a layup while you're at it. Hey, alligator arms. Something like that, you think you yelled at him, Jimmy?
Maybe. I thought the officials, though, handled that game very well. That was a hard-fought game. It was a game of whose will is going to break first, and neither team's will broke. It went all the way to the final buzzer.
Some other news, moving on. Derek Carr is now with the Saints. I think that's a good fit.
Sure.
Good for him. He's a hell of a quarterback.
I like him.
And it would have been nice to see him in a Cardinal uniform for at least six weeks.
It'd been
8
very
weeks,
good.
10 weeks,
yeah,
whatever.
But the money,
I think they got to find a quarterback.
Yeah, they got. Well, it's I would. They've got to be some. There's some. I think some very good free agent quarterbacks on the market. At this time, it sounds like they're committed at least for this year, because I think that with Jonathan Gannon as a head coach coming in, his whole new staff, okay, we'll give this kid a year and a half. I think they're going to have to give him a good 2 years, because he's not coming in until after 6, 7, 8 games, if that. And then they're going to commit and build. And I think they're going to have a pretty good litmus test of what they have and they don't have in Kyler Murray. And if they can put enough people around him to fix whatever flaws that he has or whatever they feel they can fix, and have him at that quarterback spot.
Do they get at least 3 years in your estimation to try to turn this thing around?
Well, 2 for sure.
Okay.
I mean, unless they fall flat on their face that this experiment that's not working.
Okay.
But it's just going to be on Monty Austin for getting the talent. Who's going to get offensive line-wise, defensive line. You got to go get the dudes if you're going to have a chance at winning. When you're chasing Seattle and you're chasing San Francisco, it sounds like the LA Rams are committed, keyword committed, to retooling. I'll be curious to see what they do in free agency and with the draft. But, yeah, I hope Michael Bidwell gives them the cachet, so to speak, to go out and get the right kind of people for free agency and then get the right draft choices and get this thing turned around within 2 years.
Hey, we are out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Your home for all the college basketball madness this March. They'll have all the games on the big screens, 2 theater quality projection screens, 46 4K flat screens, and how about this, a sports book with self-service kiosks and windows. So you can do both. You can get some bets in for first half, second half. So you can do it all. You can pick games to win, do a flyer on an underdog. It's a really cool place, especially if you like to gamble on the games. And on Wednesday, we will go live on your chance to win a Big Four weekend in Houston, powered by the CAZ Sportsbook here at Casino Arizona. As what we can tell you at this point is we're giving away a trip for two to the Final Four. 6 tickets. So you get to go Saturday to both games and then Monday. 3-night hotel at the Marriott there in downtown Houston. It's a great, great partnership with Casino Arizona. And all you're going to have to do is like the Casino Arizona Instagram page. So if you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram, and then you'll have a chance to win this trip, which it's going to be quick. We'll start it on Wednesday, and we'll have a winner in a week. It's going to go that fast. So get on board and listen to us, and we'll tell you how you can be all over that on Wednesday. Well, after a big win on Saturday against Idaho, the Lumberjacks of NAU shocked the world, shocked the Big Sky Conference by beating top-seeded Jimmy B's alma mater, Eastern Washington, 81-80 in the first weekend of the Big Sky tournament. The voice of the Lumberjacks, Mitch Stroman, will stop by next, and we got some special approval to actually play his call, because we had an average call from Eastern Washington.
Very average.
It was like it was the early Jimmy B at Eastern Washington. We may play that later. Just say this is what Jimmy B sounded like in the 60s. But we're going to have Mitch's call. We'll have some fun with that next. And explain how big this is and what does this mean for the Lumberjacks. They haven't had much of a good season, but this could make their decade if they can win the Big Sky and automatically get into the NCAA tournament. I would love that. How sad would that be if NAU gets in, but ASU doesn't?
That would be
Mitch Stroman next. It's Roc and Manuch.
Sun Devil Hockey finishes the inaugural season at Mullet Arena this weekend, and Saturday is senior night. Join us at 6:30 on Friday and Saturday for ASU and LIU here on Fox Sports 910, the home of Sun Devil Hockey. Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for pool, poker, and trivia. And now, the new Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Lager drafts.
With every other attorney out there claiming to be the right attorney for you, it's time we look at the facts. Lerner & Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people receive compensation for their injuries. We've recovered billions of dollars, with over $1 billion recovered in the last 5 years alone. We have over 50 attorneys and over 400 legal professionals and their resources to fight for you. The reality is, there's Lerner & Rowe, then there's everybody else. In a wreck, need a check?
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Wright Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance,
hey guys,
dispatch. If you're looking,
do you want me to play the full thing?
A great benefits program, including
of NAU's call
with a generous company match. And
it's a minute 31. I think it's really great. I'm just making sure.
At allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. Locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
Hey, it's Jody Ayler for Plum Smart Plumbing, Heating, and Air. One of the many things I love about Plum Smart, they're different from every other plumbing, heating, and cooling company out there. Plum Smart doesn't make you choose between good service or good prices. They give you the best of both worlds, outstanding service with outstanding prices. How about right now, Plum Smart will do a drain cleaning for you for $49 with no trip charge. That's half the price of most other deals out there. Go to their website, itsjustplumsmart.com. That's itsjustplumsmart.com because plumbers charge too much.
Hey guys, first thing he said was, "Is that the Jimmy Brinson that went to Eastern Washington?"
Becoming a man.
So I told him, but as soon as you say like good morning or whatever, hello or whatever, let him get a dig in at Jimmy because he's going to.
Progressive could save hundreds.
Oh, is that why my voice is changing?
That's a question for your health teacher.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than four walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner.
ASU is done unless they win their tournament now.
The living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage.
He's a headache, Jackson.
And now even more options.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from everyone. He's a headache.
888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit
Affordable. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I've heard he's nothing but a headache.
Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
More sports, more Jody. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Now in mornings, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
8 seconds on the clock. Steele Venters, the league MVP at the line. A second free throw. It spins out no good. Rebounded by McLaughlin. Up court to Cone. Cone looking for help. 4 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go. Cone, he's grabbed. No call out to Fort. Free shot on the buzzer. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
He was hot.
Can't believe it. It's good. We're going to the semifinals. I can't believe it! Oh my God! We just won the game! 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 We just beat Eastern Washington! I am literally speechless! Oakland Fort just became a hero to Lumberjack fans all over the world!
10 seconds.
NAU beats the Eagles and knocks them out of the Big Sky Champ. I am just beyond words.
Was it good? It was good, right?
It was good.
It was good. It was good.
I thought
Mitch Stroman joined us now. We want to thank Learfield and the NAU network for allowing us to play that. Mitch, outstanding, big fella. Good job, buddy.
Standing O.
Yes.
Mitch Stroman.
You live for those moments, don't you?
You guys, that just cracked me up listening to that. Jimmy B, what can I tell you? Your Eagles went down. I don't have much of a voice today, obviously, so you're off the hook a little bit. I can't bust you too bad, but I know you're hurting today. But know this, Jimmy B, know this. At least you lost in dramatic fashion to an Arizona basketball team.
It doesn't make me feel any better. And I just want you to know, it sounded like you went from a baritone to a soprano while you were screaming away there. Did your voice, did you go 3 octaves higher? Is that what I heard?
You know, and there wasn't even any surgical intervention involved.
Hey, you live for these moments, Mitch, right? I mean, in all your years, and you've been, what, 25 plus years?
26 years,
26?
Man. Yeah.
Where does this rank in games you've called? Where do you rank this?
Manuch, that's a great question.
Well, that's Rock. Don't give Manuch credit. That was Rock. That's Rock. Not Manuch.
Okay.
I have the good question.
Yeah. He's just surprised you asked that good of a question. That's what it is.
Guys, It is a great question. I've been asked that question countless times since last night, and it really made me sit back and give that some thought. And I've called nearly 1,000 NAU basketball games, and I have to tell you that one is in the top 5 all time for me as the voice of the Lumberjacks for all sports: football, men's and women's basketball, soccer, volleyball. That goes into the top 5, and it's because there was so much surrounding the game and the moment. I mean, consider that NAU's basketball game this season, guys, was arguably the hardest luck basketball team in Division I basketball. We had 5 1-point last-second losses in league. Games that, including the Portland State loss in Flagstaff several weeks ago, that might well end up being the number 1 play in all of sports at the end of the year on the ESPYs. A miracle finish to beat the Lumberjacks by the Vikings. We have lost so many games this season on last-second miracle shots by the other guys, the other team. Then you add into the fact that you had Jimmy B's number 1 seeded Eastern Washington Eagles. They were a juggernaut this year, a great team, Jimmy B, a great team.
Yes.
And then you throw in the fact that if that shot from Oakland Fort doesn't go in, season over for NAU Lumberjack basketball.
You know, it's interesting.
You roll all those things together, and it's the top. It's in the top 5 for me.
You know, Mitch, you have that call, and you thought there was a foul there, and I just curious. You go, oh man, we missed out. All of a sudden, the ball gets kicked out to Ford, and he puts a shot in, and the rest is history. But you know, that game, they hung around the entire game. So you think the law of averages, with what you talked about the season, would eventually catch up with this team, and it did. They were on the better side of fortune in that game.
Yeah, great point. And I still think there was a foul on that. When I've looked at the video replay, it looked like that Jalen Cone got grabbed around the waist. I mean, grabbed. And quite honestly, that would have been the play for Eastern to do, because remember now, we're in a position where we need a 3-shot to win. So, you know, if you foul right there, there's no way that we can win the basketball game. So that might have been the thinking on the part of the Eagles. Having said that, however, Oakland Fort, and I'm glad you mentioned him, because for your listeners in the Valley, I want to make sure people understand what that young man did. He not only won the basketball game in dramatic fashion, Sports Center number 1 top 10 play last night, put NAU basketball back in the conversation in the March Madness, but he's a Phoenix kid. He's out of Sunny Slope High School. He's a Viking, a true freshman. And to have that kind of ice in his veins to pull off a deep 3-point shot like that right at the buzzer, left his hand with like 0.3 of a second to go, is just remarkable. And he's a Phoenix product, an Arizona kid from the Grand Canyon State, and that's really cool as well.
Mitch, I want to follow up because you referenced briefly about the games that NAU had lost this year on buzzer beaters or got beat in the last 15 seconds or so of contests. When you now look ahead to what the Lumberjacks have in the next couple of days, what's the perspective from the basketball aspect about whom you could be matched up against next and then in the final?
Well, yeah, and I love that question because it opens the door to the conversation here in Boise, Idaho, where the Big Sky Championships are being played, guys. It opens the door to the conversation that I've been having with people around the league the last several weeks coming to Boise. Everybody kept saying to me,
2 minutes,
hey, Stroman, I don't want to face you guys. I don't want to play you guys on a neutral court, certainly, because you're so close to winning every single game. And in every single game, there's been an opportunity for NAU to win or to be very, very close at the end. And that kind of has been validated now, really, hasn't it? I mean, we came into Saturday in this tournament having to win 2 games in a row to get to today, right? We open up against Idaho. We soundly beat the Vandals. That was on Saturday. then, everyone's like, well, you're playing the number 1 seed now. We're 7-point underdogs. It's not going to happen. And we beat them on the last second shot. So now, we're looking at playing either Montana or Idaho State tomorrow night, depending on who wins between those two teams here tonight here in Boise. And I could tell you my good friends in Grizz Nation and my good friends in Bengal Nation are all going, we want to win because we want to advance, but we would rather not be on your side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation that people are having up here, because they're looking at us and they're saying, look, Cinderella, right? Cinderella isn't wearing a glass slipper. Cinderella's carrying a lumberjack axe and wearing boots. So, that's kind of the thinking up here, and it's really fun to be around that kind of thinking.
I'm assuming we are going to catch up with him on Wednesday.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't care what time the game is. He's going to have to be part of, our campus quickie. So, hey, Mitch, congratulations. I mean, it's one of the great reasons why we work in this industry, to have a moment like that. So enjoy it. Hopefully you can continue it, and we can continue talking March basketball with the Lumberjacks. So thanks for the time today.
Guys, thank you for having me on. It's great to share the Lumberjack love around the valley. And Jimmy B, again, my heart goes out to you, but only so much.
Yes, good job. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, Mitch, as far as I'm concerned, you can suck pond water.
Yeah. Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it. By the way, to his point, Lumberjacks lost 10 games by less than 5 points. 4 of those by a point in conference play. How about that? I mean, it's a better team than their record. Mm-hmm. So let's see if they can continue out. What a great story that would be if they can take the Big Sky. Hey, coming up, we will catch up with Factor Fooey and Craig Fooey from ABC 15. But before we do that, got to remind you, our Twin Peaks fan pick'em, where you can win 910 on 910 bracket challenge, is coming up. It's our 18th year, 3-in-1 contest. So you have winners in the individual rounds, the 16-team round, the 14 round, the overall. It is an incredible contest. And then all the games, we will be out at Twin Peaks starting on March 14th, which is next Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the following week on Thursday and Friday, the second week of play. So you go to fanpick'em.com, win 910 on 910.com, or everything's up on our website at rockandmanuch.com. So coming up, Factor Fooey with Craig Fooey from ABC 15.
Hey, Manuch.
What's 910 Phoenix?
Arizona stands pat at 9th in the latest.
Hey, guys, do we want to replay Rudy Carpenter?
The tournament gets started Thursday when they play the Utah-Stanford winner. For ASU, their tournament opens Wednesday against Oregon State. NFL Network reported the Cardinals intend to release wide receiver Chosen Anderson. The midseason acquisition caught just 7 passes for 76 yards in 10 games. Diamondback spring training rolling on as they take on the Royals today. Sun star Devin Booker named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Week. He averaged 36 points with over 5 rebounds and 7 assists during the team's 3-0 run. I'm Frank Arity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for pool, poker, and trivia. And now, the new Husk Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Lager drafts.
A homeowner just like you decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until...
What?
Hey, Manuch, do we want to replay Rudy, even though it was a little dicey there?
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, license.
Okay, I'll splice it together. That's fine. I just want to make sure it's cool with you guys.
State48roofing.com.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4.
That's fine. I'll just splice it.
With Jimmy B, broadcast live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys, live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some...
Hey, Manuch, go ahead and text him. He's not answering.
With plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride.
Yeah, he's not answering his office. I can call his cell if you want.
Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
the check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally. And
No sell either. I'm going to take out his liner.
ZzzQuil Pure
And then
Z's Gummies.
I'm just going to keep trying him.
Never before. And try Pure Z Sleep Plus next
He usually
with melatonin
answers, no problem.
Release B vitamins.
Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary
Sensei, I'm gonna
runs
bring
in
you
the
guys back.
family. The
And then
Mercedes-Benz
I'll
range of
try.
SUVs. Every member is waiting to impress. Learn more at nbusa.com.
You guys are hot.
I'm going to catch up with Craig Fouie here. Coming up in a few minutes, we will have the Random Fact Today plus one very popular play-by-play announcer just ripped the you-know-what. What is it, Jimmy?
Out of the Diamondbacks.
Killed him.
I love
Killed
it.
him.
Ripped them big time.
Yes, and we will have that for you coming up here in just a few minutes. So just ripped them big time. So it was pretty good stuff. But we are out here at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, and we are getting ready for March Madness. This is just around the corner. Coming up in the in hour number 3, we have some buzzer beaters to share. 4 really good ones. You just heard one of them that we will have to change. Because the one that we just played for you, we played the Mid-Sherman one, but we have another one that we're going to play too. But we're going to play one because the one that we have is actually an Eastern Washington call, and we think it could be like Jimmy B's like grandson. We think it's your grandson from the days because everybody in your family goes to Eastern Washington, right? Hey, Craig Fouie joins us for Factor Fouie. He's with ABC 15, of course. We did have him. We just dropped him. We're having some great phone issues today, so we'll try to get him. We'll try to get him back. But jeez, what's going on with the phones?
Somebody feed the gerbils, will you?
They're not gerbils. They're hamsters.
Hamsters, Jimmy. Hamsters.
You can't say gerbils. That was like a thing back in the late 80s, early 90s that was frowned upon. Just frowned upon. So,
Ben, I'll get him back to us here. Could you? I mean, what a great story! A great Cinderella story. No, I'm not going down that road. I know where Rock was talking about.
He's here.
Mid-70s,
many years ago. Fouie, how you doing, buddy? Sorry, we're having some phone issues today. How you doing, bud?
I know, right? That's crazy. I heard you earlier with the caller. Yeah, it's like, wow, what's going on over there?
Yeah. All right, then we think we got a good. So don't move where you're at. So let's get right to Factor Fouie
with the landline.
Don't move. He's with a landline and it drops. We got to talk to the technical people that run this place. All right, Kevin Durant is responsible for 75% of the Suns' 3 wins since he's been in lineup. Factor Fouie, 75%.
I'm going 90%. I'm going 90.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look at everybody's game has been elevated, right? Devin Booker, who is averaging 27.2 points a game, is now averaging 36 in the last 3 games. DeAndre Ayton's game is better. Chris Paul seems to be a little bit perked up, in terms of his attitude and incentive. I mean, Ish Wainwright hitting shots. This team is, you can just see the excitement with the whole team and how they're just celebrating the fact that they get to play with a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I think they're jacked up.
Which leads me to that you kind of answered that number 2. Devin Booker has been the biggest benefactor of success with Kevin Booker now in the starting lineup. Fact or Fouie?
It's actually
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. I'm sorry, Kevin Durant in the lineup.
I'm with you. KD, DB, your book.
Yeah.
Listen,
DB. You know I'm going, Coach.
He's the Western. Listen, last week when he debuted in Charlotte, I think I confused Kevin and Devin like 3 times in my report at 10. Like I got to call one book and one's got to be KD because I can't do Kevin and Devin. Right? It just doesn't work. I had a Sean and a Shane when I was coaching at Montana. I could never figure them out. So I got to get this straight. But yeah, listen, Devin Booker, Western Conference Player of the Week. The guy's solid. Again, he's averaging 36 points in the last 3 games. He's on fire. He's got a little fiery attitude. I love him and Luka yesterday afternoon. That was fun to watch. And by the way, he was yelling at the referee to start with. And then Luka took it as if he was yelling at him, but then it ignited things. So that's not all on Devin on that one. Just to be clear.
That's why we love the NBA, though. When the stars get into it with each other, that's what makes us watch. The Suns must make a concerted effort to keep DeAndre Ayton dialed in at all times in case he's needed in crunch time in the playoffs. Fact or phooey?
Fact. I think he's dialed in. Listen, I saw him yesterday on the sidelines, Kevin Durant in his ear, talking to him. Where do you get that kind of expertise? Think about DeAndre Ayton now. He came into this team, and now he's got Chris Paul in one ear, Kevin Durant in the other, Devin Booker by his side, right? I mean, it's not like let's go have some fun with Mikal and Cam Johnson anymore. It's like these veteran Hall of Fame guys talking to him and in his face, in his ear. There's no question that he's dialed in and will continue to be, I think, in terms of where they go this year.
Do you think he realizes he needs to be dialed in now that this extra motivation, as you talked about there, Coach, that it's on him now to take that game to the next level?
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. I think, listen, where they're at right now, it's all serious basketball right now, right? Nobody's really dancing on the floor before a game. Everybody's serious in what they're doing. I think he understands that switch has been flipped.
All right, question 4 with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey. By the way, you can always follow him on Twitter at Fooey on Sports. ASU must make it to the semifinal game in the Pac-12 tournament if they have a chance to go to the tournament. Fact or Fooey?
Oh, fact. Listen, I just discussing with my bosses. We were planning on going to the Pac-12 tournament. Then they lost 2 on the road. Now we're not going to the Pac-12 tournament. So, yeah, I mean, it was all about trying to get a win and split between USC and UCLA last week. But they've got to make some noise now because getting thumped by UCLA at home, the 4th-ranked team in the country, is not that bad of a situation for them. But then losing to USC kind of hurt them a lot. So they need to get through this first round against Oregon State. Then they're going to have to beat USC up there on Thursday, and then get into it against Arizona likely on Friday night.
All right, Coach, last question. If UCLA wins the Pac-12 tournament, they should get the #1 seed over Purdue. Fact or Fooey?
Ooh, say that one again.
If UCLA wins the Pac-12 tournament, they should. Yes. They should, with at least that's on the West Coast, get the #1 seed over Purdue, who's projected to have the 4th and final #1 seed.
I will say yes to that because UCLA is now ranked 2nd and Purdue is 5th. So I would go yes. I mean, it depends on where they put them, right? In which region. But yeah, I would say clearly to me, I mean, they're 27-4. They're 2nd right now in the AP poll. They're a solid team.
And I think that victory over U of A on Saturday, I would think of solidified that if they win the Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arizona dropped to 8 this week. So, yeah, I would say absolutely.
Philly, what are you working on?
You know what? I'm getting ready to talk some Devin Booker, some Suns, some Kevin Durant. NAU getting a big buzzer win yesterday over the 1 seed Eastern Washington. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff with basketball. Now we're getting geared up. And then, of course, Kevin Durant makes his home debut Wednesday night. So we'll be out at Suns practice tomorrow for that.
Philly, you've been doing this a long time. If you kind of go back in time, either of the 4 major teams here, do you remember this much excitement in the regular season for a particular sport? You know, the Suns, the Yotes, whomever. Then we're
not in the regular season.
Yeah.
Not in the regular season. No, not in the regular season. I mean, I think of, the Cardinals getting into the playoffs with Kurt Warner back in 2008, and then as a 9-7 team and then winning, and having to play the wild cards, and they got the home field advantage, won the NFC West, but that was postseason because they were 9-7 that year. Arians' year was solid. They were 13-3 in the regular season. That was a pretty good year, but not this kind of excitement for a team.
Sure. There was that kind of excitement when Charles Barkley showed up, Coach.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not
2 minutes. Yeah. That was so long ago, though. Most of the folks here now probably don't remember much of it, but yeah, for sure.
Philly, as always, thanks for carving out some time for us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, you guys. You're the best.
Yep, we know that. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that, Coach Philly. I'm kidding.
And
humble about it, yeah. No, I'm teasing. You know that. Philly on Sports, that you need to check out on Twitter. He does a great job. And, of course, he's all over the board covering all our local teams on ABC 15. Coming up, D-backs get ripped over the air by a big-time play-by-play guy. Plus, have you been using the divider at the supermarket checkouts wrong? You know when you're in line,
yes,
and you have that divider,
Right.
that long stick.
Put it down there.
Are you using it correctly? I will bet you dinner, lunch, that you are using it incorrectly.
Wow.
I'll tell you about that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is The Odd Couple.
mic check.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
The Joker. And I know a lot of people got their panties in a bunch over it, but let me tell you, your generation, your young guys who are covering the NBA now, they're so into analytics. And if they gave him the MVP the last 2 years and his analytics are better this year and he's averaging a triple-double, there's no way he's not going to win.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 5 on Fox Sports 910.
Time to get in on real estate investments. GC Global Capital has financing with no income verification. Call 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker in MLS 1091187. License NB092493. An equal opportunity employer. It's hoop time, and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B have teamed up once again with the best place in town to watch the games. Twin Peaks with 4 Valley locations. Sign up now for your chance to win 910 on 910. Plus Twin Peaks man cards after every round. It's the Twin Peaks 3-in-1 Bracket Challenge Contest at fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. And make plans to join the guys throughout the tournament at different Twin Peaks to win even more prizes. Win 910 on 910 with Twin Peaks and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Head to fanpick'em.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Make the right choice, Right Toyota in North Scottsdale. There are so many dealers to choose from, but there's only one that truly cares about the people here in Arizona. Right Toyota is family owned. They are not some huge corporation led by a bunch of bean counters that are all just concerned with the bottom line. The family at Right Toyota invests in the community and local charities. Proceeds from every car sold goes directly back to the people in need. Right Toyota is friendly. If you just want to shop from home, log on to righttoyota.com for their full inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. That's right, the right place, the right selection, the right people. Right Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Well, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't have gone wrong. At Right Toyota, well, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't have gone wrong. At Right Toyota, well, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't have gone wrong.
Springtime, the best time of the year here in sunny Arizona. Spring training, spring break, and of course, Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Enjoy this weather on one of their 3 spacious patios. One is smoke-free. Duke's, right on the Greenbelt at Miller and McDowell, has
Hey, is Rock right there?
great drink specials and is totally dog-friendly.
Hey, Rock, can I have you just tease Frank Sanders really quickly? All right, give me 2 seconds.
.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Jimmy, don't listen to them. You and the 3 other people, they're going to be very proud.
Wake up with The Drive. Jody Ayler tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 on Fox
Delicious.
Sports 910 and on our free iHeartRadio app.
Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Look at you. In front of our
Did you know that
very
Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 16,303 yards? Did you know the career record?
Little do you guys know,
1,200
had Jack set that up to make him look bad in front of you guys.
Do you know that my next door neighbor has 3 rabbits?
Now time for Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you.
I got the sound ready when you want to just go to it.
By your Valley Chevy dealers. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. For a dealer near you, head to Chevy.com.
That's right, ValleyChevy.com, serving the Valley for over 80 years, a long time. A while back, there was a TikTok debate about who should place the divider on the conveyor belt at the supermarket, at the checkout, right, or the grocery store.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. The person who just placed all their groceries on, or is it the person who arrived behind them?
I always do it for them. If I'm in front of them, I'll grab the divider and set it right behind my stuff to go, okay, you can unload.
Okay.
Put your stuff there.
There was no real good answer to this, but it did lead to something else, that a lot of us have been positioning the divider incorrectly.
What?
Yes. You are supposed to, the correct way to position the divider is not across, but straight.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. How are you supposed to see the marketing on the little divider there that people pay for? You're not going to see it just straight up and down.
I don't think we care about that, do we?
Well, the people that pay money to have their names on that.
You got to put it long ways to trip the sensor and to keep the distance. You know how there's that conveyor moves.
Right,
so if you put it long ways, it doesn't, or if you put the way you do it now, like we all do, it doesn't work properly with the conveyor. But if you go the other way straight, supposedly it works better with the sensor.
So horizontal is wrong, vertical is correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Divider you're used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Vertically challenged. That's why you brought that up, Jimmy.
It's right in my wheelhouse.
I hear that. Who knew there was divider etiquette at the supermarket?
Really?
This is pretty cool. Actually, I will get to this story at a different time. It is not appropriate at this minute.
Okay.
But I do want to get into some sound of Johnny Miller. Johnny Miller is the longtime voice of the San Francisco Giants.
On KNBR radio, I've known him a long time.
Great guy. One of my favorites. My time with spending with the Giants as their AAA guy, PR, working with him in a small capacity, but just enough to meet a guy like that you see on ESPN's Baseball Tonight and everything else for so many years. He had some not necessarily kind words.
Choice words?
But listen to this sound of Johnny Miller just ripping into the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I'm guessing, I have to guess, the D-backs decided, the heck with the big leagues. Let's just not be a big league team for the split squad. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and a fastball swung on and missed by Bryce Johnson. It's 1-2. They have sent no public relations people over here, no information about who the manager is or anything at all about him. So if they don't want to be a big league team, we'll just treat them like a sandlot team and give us no information about anything. So one of those guys on a red shirt managing, and a right-hander, one of their right-handers on the mound, and there's a ball up and away. 3-2 the count. I mean, there are certain things that go along with being a big league team, like try to act like a big league team. 3-2 the count to Bryce Johnson. Here's Ciccone, and the pitch is bounced to second over to his right, backhanding it, Castillo, and he throws out Johnson at first. See, I even had names. Did a little homework on what little have, which is nothing whatsoever from the Bush League D-back.
The Bush League D-backs.
Wow.
I would love to know what Derek Hall thinks about that.
That is awesome. Johnny Miller, you nail it, man.
Well, why is that awesome? You should defend the D-backs here.
Let me tell you what,
I'm
because I'm not defending him either. He told the D-backs how the cow eat the cabbage right there, man. He said, look, if you're going to be...
Where do cows eat cabbage?
Well, it's a saying, how the cow eats the cabbage. It's
where the cabbage... if you're on a farm, there's not cabbage on farms very rarely.
It's a term. If you look it up...
It's not a term. You're making stuff up.
No, it's if you tell somebody how exactly it is, that's what you do. And he called out the Diamondback. That is a professional It's Bush League. And, man, you got one of the best ever to be in the broadcast booth for any organization just calling you. And I wonder if D. Hall actually knew and go, hey, guys, what the hell? You should be split squad. Don't you typically
game notes, the whole 9 yards,
exactly. Whatever. I would think. I mean,
who's number 89 in right field?
Yeah, there's a ground ball to the guy going to his left.
To number 89.
He's going to his left.
He goes, they just happen to know that's Castillo at second base and making the play. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's one of those things that you hope that the PR staff, I mean, Rock, you guys would never have done. You give everything into the opposing team broadcast.
Yes, not as much, I think, now because everything is on. Like, I didn't have the internet when I was a PR guy.
Right.
I mean, they could get a lot of the information. The lineup, I'm sure, was there. The lineup had to be posted.
Oh my God!
So the lineup should have had the players. So I think Johnny's taking this thing a little too far.
I think Johnny called it off. I don't think he would sensationalize any of that if he didn't.
Yeah, maybe
he wouldn't say it.
I guess I like the guy so much. I don't see him necessarily trying to create ill will towards an
he
opponent.
Was pissed without you.
Yeah,
he was pissed
because he can't do his job.
That's exactly
right. That's the part right there. People don't understand that you are supposed to get, and you know this better than anybody, Rock. You're supposed to get information on the team and about players, and you're supposed to get a lineup card. And obviously, he didn't get any of that. And where you said, well, it might have been online or no,
man.
It should have been when he walks into the broadcast booth. All of that information should be where he is sitting to prepare to broadcast.
Because he can't do his job.
Exactly.
His job is to call the number split squad. Is this guy up from single A or minor, and he's trying to make the big league club, and you got this, that, and whatever. He can tell stories. By the way, I miss Johnny Miller and the late great Joe Morgan on ESPN Monday Night
Sunday Night Baseball.
I missed that one. I thought that was one of the best crews because Joe Morgan's expertise and just his tone. His tone, like yours, Jimmy, just a great tone, very pleasant to listen to. But he'll call it like it is. Johnny Miller, touche for you, big fella.
Some NFL news. Philip Rivers reportedly wants to come back to the National Football League. He was on the Rich Eisen show today, and he hasn't played since 2020. And be interesting to see if he, he's about, I think what is realized, all those kids he has.
I was going to say the same thing.
It's kind of caught up to him, maybe. And he's like, he wants to get out there. A guy like Philip Rivers.
Yes. Is he going to a guy that the Arizona Cardinals are?
No, you didn't.
I was going to the same place. I was going to the same place.
Yes,
I was going to the same place.
I knew you guys.
He's already contacted the 49ers and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
After last year, at the end of last year, the New York Jets. I mean, a guy like that is as good as he was. I would think at least be a good mentor, a good locker room guy, right?
And I wouldn't think he's lost that many skills in reference to, throwing the ball. He knows defenses inside and out. One of the things that it's interesting to talk about San Francisco, they're looking at either Andy Dalton or Baker Mayfield, since Baker knows that system inside and out. And then Andy, same system as well, too. So it's not far-fetched that you would have a guy that's very long in the tooth. But I agree, Rob. He's probably tired of those 9, 10, 12, 13 kids he's got
a
dealing with them all day. And then coaching the high school.
9? Is it 9?
I think 9 or 10. Yeah, good old Catholic boy. Just one of those.
What happened to me?
Yeah.
Good old Catholic boy.
You skipped that chapter, right?
I missed that day at CCD. Hey, we are going to play some buzzer beaters coming up next for our CAZ Sportsbook top stories of the day. Just going to have some fun with that next. We're going to bring back Rudy Carpenter for you, and we'll have Frank Sanders on the program. We are out here at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. It's going to get a little crazy here when the madness of March gets kicked in with all these games, especially the tournaments this week when it comes to the Pac-12 tournament, which will start on Wednesday with Arizona State and Oregon State. So we'll dive into all that next as we continue on. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
We're your neighbors. You should stop by for a visit. We're Casino Arizona. Come on in. Our slots are spinning, our dealers are dealing, and everyone's yelling bingo. Isn't it about time you see your friends again? So stop by to say hello. Stay a while. Relax. Enjoy yourself. We'd love to see you again. Hey, this place was made to entertain. We're your Casino, Arizona.
No one has the same taste as you.
You're damn right.
From the music you love to the podcasts you can't live without. And only the iHeartRadio app has it all for free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio. I'm Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS.
Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. Call 1-800-ANTI-LAWYER.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and I wasn't happy with the different product. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Before new Cascade Platinum Plus, I would pre-rinse all my dishes because my old detergent just wouldn't get them clean. But now, I do dishes differently. And no pre-wash, no rewash, money-back guaranteed kind of different. Because Cascade Platinum Plus has double the grease fighting power of Dawn built right in, with twice the scrubbing power, giving me a clean that lets me break all the dish rules. I just scrape, load, and I'm done. Yep. So clean. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I dare to dish differently.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live.
What's up, Manuch? I can hear you from the restroom.
KME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Yes.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910.
Devin Booker was named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Week. He averaged 36 points with over 5 rebounds and 7 assists during the Suns' 3-0 run. Diamondback spring training rolling on with their outing against the Royals today. Arizona remains 9th in the latest USA Today men's basketball coaches poll. Their Pac-12 tournament gets started Thursday when they play the Utah-Stanford winner. For ASU, their tournament opens Wednesday against Oregon State. NFL Network says the Cardinals intend to release Chosen Anderson. He caught 7 passes for 76 yards in 10 games. I'm Frank Arity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly cloudy skies, temperatures dipping down into those low 50s. And then for your Tuesday, partly sunny skies with temperatures getting up to about 73 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Parker & Sons.
Parker & Sons, your AC, plumbing, electrical, and even water filtration experts. With Parker & Sons, you get service in minutes, not days. So call 602-2REPAIR for Parker. We're not your average Joe.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, our top story this hour.
It's the Phoenix Suns, and I think it's going to be the Phoenix Suns for the next few months, as unless you're living in a cave somewhere. Kevin Durant drained the go-ahead basket in the closing seconds. The Suns held on to beat the Mavs 130-126 in Dallas. What a hell of a game that was, as Durant scored 37. Booker had 36. They've now won 3 in a row, 9 of their last 12. They'll return home on Wednesday to face the Thunder. So it'll be Kevin Durant's first game at Footprint. And I know it's a hot ticket. Hot ticket can be. What's the most that you would pay for a ticket?
The regular season game?
This game.
I might pay no more than $250.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Every once in a while, got to splurge, you know.
Depending on where the seat is, I'd probably pay up to $350.
For a regular season game?
Yes.
Yeah. KD, the precipice of hopefully a world championship, but to be the first time he's donned the floor at Footprint and to be there as part of this team. So, yeah.
So,
no, concerts
the
are what?
cheapest ticket right here, section 209, which is upstairs in the corner, you can get in for about $100.
Okay.
All right. And the highest is $3,750.
Hello,
son.
So if you want to be courtside, $2,000 on one side. I think that's the opponent side. On the Sun side, $4,150. Excuse me, $4,150.
Wow.
On the other side, about $1,700, $1,900, and $2,000.
Shoot, that Jimmy B's retirement money, I'd go do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously,
right there,
play-by-play, guys. You should be like, we should do like a company trip. Like a field trip to the Suns game. Buy tickets for all of us.
Don't you need write-offs with your retirement? All that
So all
stuff?
that money you have. I mean, I know you're making money on the golf course, especially playing those new TP5s, Roc and Manuch balls.
I'm telling you, those are the greatest golf balls that I have ever used in my entire life.
Did you still have some?
Did they help your game?
Yes.
They did.
Yes. Yeah.
So Suns, we'll be talking about it all week. Get into it more tomorrow as well as on Wednesday as they host the Thunder. But what we want to do is get into some of the top buzzer beaters from this weekend. There are a lot of it. And why don't you get rid of that music under us, Ben, and we'll get right to some of the top buzzer beaters from the weekend. And we're going to go to what was earlier this afternoon, Jimmy B's number one call, because this was it's Kennesaw, right? Kennesaw? Am I saying it right?
Kennesaw
State, which is in Georgia. Mm-hmm. This is the final call. They are going to the big dance for the first time in their school history. Here's that final call, courtesy of ESPN.
Burden. He does. Tapped around. That's it. It's over. Kennesaw State wins the ASUN championship, and they're going to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history.
Kennesaw. So, Jimmy, you had to have broadcast in there.
I've never done a Kennesaw State.
This is. I think ESPN covers just about every
well, they have
game.
The right. They have the rights to most of the conferences now. And what they do for the small schools, they put it on ESPN Plus. So they're not on any of the major network outlets until they get to their championship game.
But
That's
Jimmy,
it.
you've seen so much progress in these smaller schools.
Yes, always.
With some of these, you get 2 or 3 decent guys. You get that whole team concept. You need 2 shooters. Damn, you're in this thing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it is you see these schools like the Davisons of the world, these smaller type schools. They're out in South Carolina, and it's these teams that have all seniors. They keep their guys.
Yes, that is correct.
This is courtesy of the big network, the Big Ten. There's Penn State beating number 21 ranked Maryland at the buzzer.
Trouble with 7 seconds, kicks it out to Lundy, rises for 3. Knew it wasn't good. The rebound. He wins it up the buzzer.
You know, it seems like the ASU buzzer beater over Arizona was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
There's been so many since then. So that's Penn State and Maryland. How about this? Houston, number 1 ranked. They survived past Memphis with this buzzer beater, courtesy of CBS.
Shed driving, looking up. 1 second to go for the win. He got it. The Cougars win it. Number one remains number one on a Jamal Shed jumper out of the buzzer.
How about that? The Cougars. And now take us out to Boise. Big Sky tournament. We talked to Mitch Stroman earlier. You're going to hear his call in just a moment as it's another buzzer beater as they advanced, as they beat number one seed Eastern Washington. That is Jimmy B's alma mater, where he called games a long time ago. But the current, his name is Jonathan Brinkston. He's the play-by-play guy for Eastern Washington. So here's his call on the 3-point buzzer beater.
The second free throw, in and out. Here come the Lumberjacks. No timeouts. Jalen Cone wrapped up, Ford for the win. Got it! Oh my. And the 1 seed is won and done.
This guy sounds just like you, Jimmy.
Sure he does.
You taught your nephew a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? Even he said Jalen Ford wrapped up. He expected a call on that as well, too. Yeah. And they kick the ball out. He's like, oh, but that's a great, number one is no longer number one. I love it.
We may have to, pull up. We love Tim Healy and his call with Arizona. Put that up against this one of Mitch Stroman and the NAU broadcaster. This is courtesy of Learfield.
Price for Eastern. 8 seconds on the clock. Steele Venters, the league MVP at the line. A second free throw. It spins out, no good. Rebounded by McLaughlin. Up court to Cone. Cone looking for help. 4 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go. Cone, he's grabbed. No call out to Fort. 3 shot of the buzzer. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I can't believe it. It's good. We're going to the semifinals. I can't believe it!
I can't say it, man. I think he got,
oh my God!
shot in the giblets because his voice went up 4 octaves.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
You know what that reminds me of? The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. Yeah.
Do you learn that in broadcasting school that you're supposed to repeat it at least minimum 3 times?
He did it 5.
He did it 5.
I know. I said minimum.
I was never taught that.
I think you're just so excited that you just emphasize what the hell happened because you're trying to realize that I just see what it is. And even Mitch even called Jalen getting humped. So they both called.
Yes.
They expected the foul because they had the 1 to give. They needed 3 to win it, and they expected 2 points, game, set, match. And that's unless they missed the second on the 1-1. But great call.
Some poor coaching.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that kid, you got to make your free throws. That's what it's all about, right, Jimmy? In the tournament time, got to make your free throws, man.
Just for the sake for the Lumberjack Nation, because if you listen to sports radio in Phoenix, not a lot of talk about the Lumberjacks.
Right.
It's ASU and it's U of A. So for that reason, Ben. Let's play this one more time. Mitch's game winner.
Price for Eastern. 8 seconds on the clock. Steele Venters, the league MVP at the line. A second free throw. It spins out, no good. Rebounded by McLaughlin. Up court to Cone. Cone
3 minutes.
Looking for help. 4 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go. Cone, he's grabbed. No call out to Fort. 3 shot of the buzzer. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I can't believe it. It's good. We're going to the semifinals.
I can't.
Oh, that's great.
This is awesome.
Out of all the games
I have a feeling you're going to get to hear that again in our Rotor 1 call at about 3:45.
So. Out of all the games I've called, I have never been a homer announcer. In other words, I haven't been like the team announcer like what Mitch is. I've always done it on a national level. So you get
it's kind of a big deal, Rob.
Oh yeah,
he just reminded us.
But you don't get amped up like what happened to Mitch.
And we hear more of it, and it just seems like it, and I love it.
2 minutes.
I mean, I know some people, I do get upset when the color analysts kind of jumps in and just kind of takes it, kind of steps on the play-by-play guy. But he's just as excited, or she's just as excited. So it's kind of tough to hold your emotions, especially a game like that where so much on the line. You're playing the number 1 seed. You haven't beat them in like 15 tries or whatever the number is, and you get by them. And now you have a chance to play Montana or Idaho State.
Montana.
And if you get by, and stranger things have happened in March.
Yeah,
let the fever go.
It's good to see the basketball gods smiling down on NAU after all the games they lost by buzzer beaters themselves or points.
You had a stat that said that they had lost like
5. Yeah, Mitch brought that up.
5 buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
No,
10?
they lost 10 games by less than 5 points. 4 of those by a point.
Wow.
And they were in conference play. And they only have 5 wins in conference play.
2 of those in Montana.
And Eastern Washington, they won the regular season title. They had won 17 games at a time, in a row, I should say, at one point. So this snaps a 13-game win streak. I said 15 to Eastern Washington, which dates back to 2017. And this is the first time NAU's been in the semis in the Big Sky since 2015. So we'll find out tomorrow at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time as the Lumberjacks will go at it again.
It's setting up perfectly for the 3rd time to take on Montana and to go ahead and beat Montana and then go to the final game. Maybe against Montana State.
I'll put my money on NAU. Hands down.
Montana?
Montana's not a basketball school.
We made the March Madness. What was it? 2 years in a row, a couple years ago. Hey, we'll see. Hey, congrats NAU on winning a game in the Big Sky Championship.
2 games. 2 games.
Oh, 2 games.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they beat Idaho Saturday, and then
let them be excited until tomorrow.
Oh, look at the smack talk coming from the Montana Grizz.
Sure. We don't choke like Eastern does.
Isn't it funny that when your alma mater wins or plays, all of a sudden you're like, you pump your chest, like you can't name 5 guys on that team, right? And it's like,
exactly.
Who's the coach? Well, I do the same thing with Ohio U. Like, I'm not following that team, basketball team. They were just over 500. I knew enough about them. That's it. But I couldn't tell you, their top league score or anything like that.
Well, they were
just don't follow anymore.
They were good last year.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
But you lose a couple players and that's it. Just like Eastern Washington for you, Manuch. You got K-State, Montana for Jack, myself. Ben didn't even go to college, so.
Where the Devils 9:30 tip on Wednesday night against Oregon State. 9:30. Jimmy,
that's 8:30. That's 8:30. Their time.
No, I think it's 9:30. Yeah, well, it might be. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, okay. Because I checked with Cal Dodd. He says, is that 9:30, 8:30 our time? He said 9:30 our time is what he said.
Well, our time meaning Phoenix.
Yes, Phoenix time. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
8:30 our time, 9:30 our time.
Okay.
So they're an hour behind us.
But that doesn't matter. It's about the players.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, get your rest, get your nap.
What else do you do? You just lay around. I mean, you're in Vegas. That's not the easiest place to just try to get some rest.
Yeah, but waiting around that long, you're like chomping at the bit. You're doing okay. I can only have so many pizzas before the game. You're
shooting around pizza before the game.
I know guys. Pretty much you have your
name one.
You have
name one guy. You know guys.
We've done that.
We're talking college basketball. You didn't play college basketball. There's no way you can. I played
Monday Night Football where kickoff was at 9:00.
What's that got to do with the freaking NCAA tournament in Vegas?
We ate breakfast. We ate a late lunch. We had pizza about 4 hours before the game. On top of that, because
that was way before nutrition. Right? You guys didn't have power shakes. You guys didn't. I remember when I was with the 89 Colts, you guys just eat all those amino acids.
Yes.
There'd be bowls.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just scoop and eat. What was it with amino acids back in the 80s?
It's the greenies, the amino acids, the salt tablets, all the stuff that was bad for it. We ate it. We felt that was it, man.
He's like, who decided? Because I'll never forget, I was sitting there at one of my jobs as a PR intern was, checking these guys in. Okay, here comes Jack Trudeau. Here comes Eric Dickerson. And, Andre Rison. They're all coming in. And they're just scooping these amino acids, and I'm like, I'm putting them in my pocket. I'm like, these gotta be. I don't know what they're for. I remember, there's no internet to Google it and say what are amino acids. You got to go to the library.
And minimum 4 per game.
Jeez, these were at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, they were.
Oh man, hey, Rudy Carpenter is going to join us next. Get his thoughts on the combine. He was there all week. I should say all last weekend. So we'll catch up with him next. And then Frank Sanders. We're coming to you live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's Fox Sports 910.
Sun Devil Hockey finishes the inaugural season at Mullet Arena this weekend, and Saturday is senior night. Join us at 6:30 on Friday and Saturday for ASU and LIU here on Fox Sports 910, the home of Sun Devil Hockey.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Good afternoon. I'll start things off with a crash of the Red Mountain Freeway, southbound 202 near Apache Trail. That's sitting on the right shoulder. Also off right, a wreck through Scottsdale on the 101 southbound near Raintree Drive. Car pedestrian accident in Scottsdale on 68th Street in Osborne. Car motorcycle crash, 51st Avenue in Olive. I'm Lee Powell, checking the road.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If cold candidate calls aren't turning into hot hiring leads, then you need Indeed. Because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
March is here. Be sure to head to fanpick'em.com to fill out your bracket and watch all the games at any of the 4 Twin Peaks locations. Details can be found at rockandmanuch.com. Once again, that's rockandmanuch.com.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck only to find yourself going backwards financially each month? Nobody wants to file bankruptcy, but at many times, it's the best choice. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and that it will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. In most cases, filing bankruptcy can improve your credit. At Lerner Rowe Law Group, our bankruptcy lawyers only work on bankruptcy cases, and we can file your bankruptcy with $0 down.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
The right price, the right selection. It's all now at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Stop by today and see why Wright Toyota continues to be Arizona's top Toyota dealership, located just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Golfers, tee it up at Van's Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from TaylorMade, featuring the Stealth 2 Woods and Irons. The new Stealth 2 Woods combines speed and forgiveness to unlock forgiveness, and the new Stealth HD Irons deliver high launch with draw bias to give you the confidence to expect better shots more often. Swing into Van's Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Van's Golf Shops. Unmatched expertise, unmatched service.
Legacy Sports USA Spring Cornhole season is open for registration. Bags and Beers, powered by Husk Brewing Company, starts March 10th. For more information, visit LegacySportsUSA.com/cornhole. That's LegacySportsUSA.com/cornhole.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad explains becoming a man.
Son, it's time we had the talk.
Okay, TV Dad.
You know, drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Oh, is that why my voice is changing?
That's a question for your health teacher.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
This is co-bowler Sean Merriman. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores. Houston is the top team in the land according to the new USA Today men's basketball coaches poll. UCLA, Purdue, Kansas, and Alabama fill out the top 5. Arizona stays 9th heading into the Pac-12 tournament. The Utah Standard winner on Thursday. NFL Network reports the Cardinals intend to release wide receiver Chosen Anderson. The midseason acquisition caught just 7 passes for 76 yards in 10 games. I'm Frank Arity.
Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big. Now get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends 4/15. Visit staples.com/printbig for details. This is your sign to try Staples, where your prints are perfect guaranteed.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown! Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch and on Fox Sports 910, on FM at 99.9 HD2.
Rudy Carpenter now on the right to the guest line. You can follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12 as he just got back from the combine. Rudy joins us now. We got you, Rudy?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, good, buddy. We're talking about the combine, obviously, the events that took place at Lucas Oil Stadium there in Indianapolis. You've been going for a long time. Are there much changes over the years? Have you noticed much of a change year to year?
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, there's a fan experience now where they're letting fans into the actual combine.
Okay.
Whether you were an agent or a fan or anybody, you could never get in there and watch. This year they were allowing all of us to be in there to watch, which was interesting. But I think probably the more interesting piece from the NFL standpoint is that it seems as if teams are sending less personnel to the combine. It used to be in years past that the entire organization went, and it was as much of a big party as it was information gathering along with, networking and everything else. But it seems as if teams have been, sending less personnel to the combine than in years past.
And Rudy, it seems as though year in and year out, the kind of the flavor of the week, if you will. Sometimes it was a left tackle several years ago, running backs, wide receivers last year, or quarterbacks, what have you. What was kind of the position or the flavor of the week in reference to positions or position this last week?
I don't know. I think it's hard to tell. I think that the reason why that is because there's always a couple, stories and narratives going into it. And when you had the whole Jalen Carter thing, I think that kind of changed, the storylines and everything else. It really, a lot of it became about him. Most people think he's the best player in the draft, and now all of a sudden he's got, 2 misdemeanor charges against him. And what does that really do? And then, you have the testing of a guy like, Anthony Richardson, which he plays a premier position at quarterback. There's already a lot of intrigue. And then he puts up these, real guys for how big he is, how tall he is, how much he weighs. And he starts getting crazy comparisons, to Cam Newton and Dante Culpepper, et cetera, et cetera. To me, I'm just honestly still shocked that the NFL players or these college players are even participating in the combine without being compensated. I honestly am shocked by it.
Do they have to sign some kind of a waiver, Rudy, before they go to the combine that the NFL is not responsible if they get hurt or injured in that particular thing?
Yeah, of course. I mean, to me, that's one of the things that's just totally crazy. The NFL makes a lot of money off this. It's on TV for 4 or 5 days straight, all the sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera. And if you really think about it, there's a couple players per year that really, really help themselves. But the vast majority of these guys don't help themselves by participating in the combine. We see NBA players just come and go from the combine as they please, right? I'm just honestly shocked that more NFL players, haven't decided to do this. You see guys pull hamstrings and get hurt all the time at the NFL combine.
I'm real curious about what were your thoughts on this. Several years back, and Rock can remember this clearly, the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Mike Mamula, who at that time just blew away the combine. Everybody just went nuts over the stats that he put out in all of that. So does the combine and he turned out to just be a so-so journeyman type player in the NFL, Mike Mamula. In your estimation, does that still take place at the combine where somebody rises up really fast just because they ran faster, jumped higher, did the shuttle course faster? Or are they more now inclined to really bank on pro days for different players, especially skill players?
Well, I think there are still times where people fall in love with the beauty pageant and they draft a guy because of it. But with analytics and everything else, I obviously think teams are getting smarter and they're doing a much better job of trusting the film. A lot of times, really now, what teams are trying to see is, hey, how this guy plays on tape, does it match up with the numbers? And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get a guy that is just incredible on the field, but yet his numbers in the underwear Olympics just aren't great. And then you kind of put those things together. And then there's sometimes guys that they run crazy fast and they jump crazy high, and you look at their production and you're like, why is their production low? We have a receiver this year who's kind of like that. He's 6'5". At the combine, he's 6'5", he's 202 pounds, and he ran 4.37 and 4.39. And people ask, well, why wasn't he super productive at Georgia and then Arkansas? And if I am answering the question, it's because of opportunity. He didn't have a lot of it, right? He sat behind guys like George Pickens. So my point is the combine is the time where they can look at a guy like that and say, wow, he has all the height, weight, size, speed, everything that we want. Now let's go back and rewatch the film. And if they rewatch it and he's still a bum of a player, well, that's one thing. But if they rewatch it and they say, man, he's beating this guy every time, but for whatever reason the ball is going somewhere else, well then, hey, maybe that's when they change their mind. But, to me, the combine really for most of these teams is more about finding out medical information and getting a chance to sit down and talk with these guys face to face and find out who they are.
Rudy, Derek Carr is now with the Saints. Do you think that's a good fit?
I think it's great. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, to me, I think this year's quarterback market's weird. You don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. I guess you got Jimmy Garoppolo who's out there. I just think when you're the Saints, this makes, to me, a ton of sense. I personally think Derek Carr is a very good player. I'm not comparing him to Matthew Stafford or anything else. All I'm saying is football is a very difficult game. It's very tough to win in the NFL. And if you don't play for a good organization, I don't care how good of a player you are at the quarterback position, it's very, very difficult. To me, it's why Joe Burrow is really exceptional for what he's been able to do, with the Bengals, which is NFL Siberia for many years. So, it's not like Derek Carr has been in a very stable situation.
Hey, Rudy, I guess the next domino we're waiting for to drop would be the decision of Aaron Rodgers, whether he wants to be traded, whether it be the Raiders, whether it be the Jets, whether he wants to stay. How vitally important is that the Packers get a decision sooner rather than later? And do you think one would be made before free agency starts next week?
I don't think one's going to be made, but I actually think the next big domino is whether or not the Ravens are going to place a franchise tag or an exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson, because if they place an exclusive tag on him and he gets a chance to go negotiate elsewhere, I mean, if you're the Jets, you better be, driving down to Baltimore as quickly as you can to put some kind of offer sheet in front of him. So, or even the Atlanta Falcons. So, to me, that's a really big domino that we're going to figure out here in the next week.
Rudy, we always appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the time today.
All right, guys. Take care.
Rudy Carpenter joining us here on the Right Toyota guest line, and you can follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12. Hey, we'll catch up with former Cardinals wide receiver Frank Sanders, get his thoughts on how much stock he puts into the receivers of the combine and the release of, what's his name? The Chosen One. That's all next as we continue from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Cardinals intend to release wide receiver Chosen Anderson, the 2022 midseason acquisition, had just 7 receptions for 76 yards in his 10 games. Devin Booker named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Week. He averaged 36 points with over 5 rebounds and 7 assists during the team's 3-0 run. Suns return to action Wednesday against the Thunder. Arizona stands pat at 9th in the new USA Today men's basketball coaches poll. Their Pac-12 tournament gets started Thursday when they play the Utah-Stanford winner. For Arizona State, their tournament opens Wednesday versus Oregon State. I'm Frank Harity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
For tonight, look for mostly cloudy skies, temperatures dipping down into those low 50s. And then for your Tuesday, partly sunny skies with temperatures getting up to about 73 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Precision Air and Plumbing.
Make a decision with Precision Air.
Did you know Arizona has the hardest water in the nation? For a limited time, Precision is offering a free in-home water test. Make a Precision decision today and call us at 602-765-PIPE.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is a casual sports bar and grill with something for everyone. Visit us today at 8880 East Via Linda Tavern Grill in Scottsdale.
Are you looking to get into the best shape of your life or looking to offer your son or daughter the best training in Arizona? Then listen up. Dan Manucci for the new Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park in Mesa. The state-of-the-art Performance Center is a 25,000 square foot facility and is home to sports performance for teams, individuals, combine prep, and professional athletes. And now, the new home where I coach my quarterback. 80 yards of indoor turf and track along with an outside turf workout area, plus tons of squat and bench stations, along with world-class training equipment. And they have the best team of coaches in the Southwest led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If you or your son or daughter are ready to take the next step by gaining more speed, agility, power, and flexibility, then you need to check out the Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park. Sign up by calling 480-572-0647, and one of their team members will create an individualized program specific to your needs. That's 480-572-0647 or online at legacyperformanceaz.com. For limited time, if you mention me, Dan Manucci, they'll give you your first session on me. That's legacyperformanceaz.com.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Ariya. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010.
I saw Bell Bank Park for the first time yesterday.
Drive expected availability early 20.
Yeah, it's really big. I didn't realize it was like that.
Attention seniors on Medicare. One Medical Seniors is a doctor's office designed around you and your needs. With convenient locations, on-site labs, and care coordination with specialists, our entire team works together to provide you with the best care possible. Come meet us at one of our no-cost events, like a Medicare 101 or a holiday party, and bring a friend. Learn more at omsphoenix.com. That's omsphoenix.com.
Rox, you work at free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught. Touchdown Auburn! Sanders caught it! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn!
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch. Now on
All right, you guys are at
Sports 910.
Frank Sanders joins us now on the Right to the Guest line. He can be found on Twitter at FrankSanders81. He's also part of the GoPHNX.com family, and he joins us. How you doing, bud? Nice day today. I know you're golfing today. There's no way you give us this. I'm sitting at work. I'm so busy. Don't give me that. Where are you at? Where are you playing?
Calling you out, Frank. Wow.
It's Monday. It's like you're a doctor.
I wish I was there, but unfortunately I'm not. I'm at the office on a Monday. Typically Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I'm at the office.
Typically? Wait. Typically? Because you've been coming on the show on Mondays for the past 5 years, and I would say if you've been on 50 times a year, you've been at the golf course 40 of those 50 Mondays. So don't give us you don't need to lie. Come on, Frank. I mean, we're friends.
I didn't say emphatically. I said typically.
Frank, you said you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday are your load management days, huh?
Absolutely, brother. I get ready to this weekend, man. I had a great, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, play golf with the guys, man. Went to McDowell Mountain Ranch, saw that twice, went to the Raven, went to Aguila. I probably want enough lunch money. I could take you guys out to a good steakhouse.
Oh, wow. Man. We like the sound of that. Frank. Invite anytime, Frank. Yes. Invite anytime, buddy.
Hey, we have some gifts for you coming. Will you play the TP5 golf ball, or you only play the Pro V?
I don't want to be booed. The TP5. The TP. Look, if it says Rock on there, I would definitely play the TP5 ball.
It does. It says Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. It's our caricature. So we have brand new. Just got them, dozens of them, and. But again, if you're a Titleist guy, I get it. It's fine. We'll give it to somebody else who would actually appreciate it.
Kind of a snooty.
No.
There. Wow.
I mean, they're $54 a dozen. I mean, they're expensive. It's just the same price as Pro V1s.
Thank you, Frank.
Rock, I can lose a TP5 just like I can lose a Titleist. So either way, it's the same.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some Cardinal football. You got the combine is over now. Everyone's attention is to free agency and the draft. how active is this Cardinal team, or I should say, how active would you like to see them be over the next coming days as we get closer to the free agency getting going?
Anything that looks 80% better than the last 2 years, what we've seen with Kime and how non-active they was in the free agency market. I mean, it would be a bonus, but it has to be something I would anticipate that Coach Gannon, with his energy and his mindset, his desire to get his team ready to go after coming off a Super Bowl season. You know, this guy's in every meeting right now, pushing and prodding Mike and the general manager to get him some players to play so they can go out and immediately start running with this football team. You got a quarterback in place. That's the biggest thing right now. Of course, there's a question mark. Will he be there? Will he be ready for the first game of the season? Well, I'm pretty sure Kyler's going to get himself motivated and jacked up to try to be as fresh and ready as he can and to break into the new season. But this offseason right now has to be absolutely the Cardinals. The name of the Cardinals needs to be the talk of the town right now when it comes to free agency. And if it's not, I will be 100% disappointed because we've seen that over the last 2 years.
Well, Frank, you bring up a great question. Do you set yourself up in free agency and obviously the draft until Kyler gets back to hold him over? Or do you set it up thinking that when he comes back, you got to set it up for the future? So is it pay me now or pay me later when you look at something where you got your starting quarterbacks like coming back for could be 4, 5, 6 games?
Well, the salary cap next year will be $280-something million. It went up $20 million consistent over the last 2 or 3 years. And that tells you how much money the NFL is making and how much money they're paying the players. It is an opportunity, Manuch, to really go out there and be aggressive. You've already seen what it looks like not being aggressive.
Sure.
In order to give the head coach and this new coaching staff and the fan base what we've been desiring till the last 2 to 4 years, it would be absolutely a slap in the face of all the work and the conversation that Mike has been talking about, creating this new change, bringing in a new coach with a new mindset and an attitude, wanting to win. You have to make bold moves. We saw what the Suns just did to get Kevin Durant. You gotta let the nuts hang because you got to. You just can't really be. You can't waste time trying to figure out what the future is going to look like. There's too much money. There's so much rotation, and you have to be savvy with the salary cap. And so right now, I believe this team is in a good position to really go out and make some moves.
So, Frank, what predicates first? You were good friends with Adrian Wilson when he was here, and best of luck to him going to Carolina. When you talk to the front office or general manager guys, what predicates first? Looking at the free agency, which sets you up for the draft, or set yourself up for the draft for having a pretty good idea what you want to go, and then coming back to free agency? What is it, the chicken before the egg theory? What is that when they look at this?
When I look at just go back and look at our coaching staff and where they come from. They come from experienced players. I mean, they might be young guys, but they've had experienced talent that they were coaching, and it made it look that much more easier for these guys. And again, kudos to those guys for being in the right place at the right time with the opportunity to go out and reach reach the Super Bowl from a Philadelphia Eagles standpoint. I always believe that you have to have veteran leadership in the locker room to be able to show the young guys what it looks like. And if you can plug and play in the right positions, you've already established a quarterback. Of course, the offensive line is beat up, so you got to go and get offensive linemen. You really do. And our defensive line is young, but we need experienced guys in those particular areas. And I think that right now, if we set the precedence of what we're doing in the offseason,
3 minutes.
It only tells the guys around the league and everyone else that the Cardinals are very serious about what they're doing because they got the pieces in place. It's always this. It's not always the coach. It's the players that you bring in that create the expectation between the fan base and what the coaches know they coach, because then a coach will never say this when he know he has talent. Well, I didn't have enough talent. They didn't go get me the players I wanted. I need to get my players in. Right now, as young as we are, they can go get the players they want, put them in key positions, and coach on a position like they have a real good team here with leadership and youth and talent. And then we can just start running immediately and not wait till the 4th and 5th game of the season.
Frank, I want to follow up on the combine for the Arizona Cardinals. Did they learn more at the combine about players, or will they get most of their important information when they go to a player's pro day, since that's kind of changed everything in the way the NFL operates now?
You know, I think that this is the one. I think when you're at the combine and a coach shows up, if a player is willing to do everything, then what you get to see is him versus competition at the same level. At his pro day, it might be him, and he's the star guy, and the other 2 or 3 receivers are probably already 3rd and 4th round picks or 4th and 5th round picks. But when you're at the combine, you're facing a lot of ones and a lot of guys that can improve at a moment's notice. Plus, you get to see guys whose names you've never played against because they're coming from different conferences, and you really get to see that this guy, he looks better than me. When you look at some of these guys that show up, they're 6'4", 6'5", but they was at a lesser school in regards to they're not at the top 5 or they're not in the Power 5 conference. But you see what they're able to do. It changes the narrative, and I think competition, head-to-head competition, is always better than a pro day competition because at that moment, Jimmy B, you're basically setting the stage. You want the wind to be right. You want the day to be right. You want the grass to be cut right, so you run great 40 times, and it just changes the narrative when you put a guy in the atmosphere of competition.
So, what are you going to work on this week at the driving range? What is it? What is it that you need to get? We need to spend some time on
because we know it's hard to do a whole lot of nothing all week long.
So, what is it you're going to be focusing on this week so we could get a report card on that next Monday?
Tequila or whiskey?
The decisions we must face.
That's awesome.
That's great,
Frank. We'll let you get back.
Tequila or whiskey?
I love it. We're gonna just call it whiskey. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you next week, buddy. Thank you.
All right,
that's awesome, Frank Sanders.
That was great.
Always former Cardinal wide receiver.
Hey, he works
in Raven.
3 days in a row. He's working these days.
That's
man.
impressive.
Give him a break over there, Rob.
That's impressive.
My goodness gracious! I mean, you got to get. If he's got 4 load management days, I mean, he probably needs 5. If you
imagine if you could play golf 3 days a week.
Oh my goodness!
Even 2 days a week. How much more improved you would be?
Oh, you'd be close to scratch.
Playing once a week just doesn't cut it. It's so hard. And I, you guys, we talked about, I got my new driver and I'm
the new golf balls,
killing it. But man, the great part was yesterday, I'm killing it. All right. I'm driving it farther than I've ever driven. And I got the new Stealth 2 driver and it's really working for me distance wise. So I get it out there, let's just say 3 out of 6 are good. Okay.
Yeah.
But now I'm having that problem where I'm getting so close to the green.
Oh,
that my second shot, under a 100, which I need to work on with the 60, because I like the 125, 130 range.
There. Full swing
with a wedge. Yeah, but
doesn't get in your head, man.
No, it's so in my head. I'm so pissed off. We'll continue on. Learner Row 1 call, which may be the call of the year by Mitch Stroman from NAU. You'll hear it next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Casino, Arizona.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is The Odd Couple. Mic check. With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
The Joker. And I know a lot of people got their panties in a bunch over it, but let me tell you, your generation, your young guys who are covering the NBA now, they're so into analytics. And if they gave him the MVP the last 2 years and his analytics are better this year and he's averaging a triple-double, there's no way he's not going to win.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Today at 5 on Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
I-17 southbound near McDowell, we have an accident. Left shoulder and lane are blocked. Loop 202 southbound near Apache Trail. There is an accident. Right shoulder and lane are blocked there. Now we have an accident. Chandler Boulevard at McClintock and also McDowell at Galvin Parkway. Steve Trella with a check of traffic.
This report is sponsored by NewACUnit.com.
Why are NewACUnit.com's prices 50% less than other AC companies? We destroy the competition with our national buying power, and we cut out the middleman at NewACUnit.com.
Save time.
That's fine.
NewACUnit.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Home shopping? You'll need a pre-approval letter. Call GC Global Capital, and you can get pre-approved in minutes. Call 480-397-9300. Free second opinions and comparisons. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License NB 0924983. An equal opportunity lender.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait.
That's a great idea, Jimmy. We're trying to tank, so that's a good idea.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah.
He's not a free agent.
Script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait. Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at Discover.
No, they're going to have to try. They're trying to trade him because otherwise it's too much against the cap.
French toast
if they just
sticks
cut
are
him.
so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you?
Hell yeah, bring Jameis here. I'm trying to tank. That's perfect.
Breakfast.
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
In all seriousness, what's the point of bringing someone here? We're going to be awful anyways.
It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
For Eastern. 8 seconds on the clock. Steele Venters, the league MVP at the line. A second free throw. It spins out no good. Rebounded by McLaughlin. Up court to Cone. Cone looking for help. 4 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go. Cone. He's grabbed. No call out to Fort. 3 shot of the buzzer. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I can't believe it. It's good. We're going to the semifinals. I can't believe it! Oh my God! We just won the game! 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 We just beat Eastern Washington!
30 seconds, you guys are hot.
I am literally speechless! Oakland Fort just became a hero to Lumberjack fans all over the world! NAU beats the Eagles and knocks them out of the Big Sky Champ! I am just beyond words.
Mitch Stroman, the 26-year veteran of the Lumberjacks, with the call of the century for NAU. And we've had some pretty good calls over the course of the last 2 weeks with what we heard with Arizona State last week. And then, of course, now you hear NAU. Outstanding. So congrats to Lumberjacks all over the world.
And
all over the world.
Sorry about that, Jimmy. Your Eastern Washington Eagles alumnus. Couldn't happen to a nicer school, right?
Oh, man.
They're cruising into the #1 seed, and here come the Lumberjacks.
Interact, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900, and always at lernerroad.com. They can help. Again, one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Now let's get to what's on tap tonight. History of the World Part 2 is starting tonight. The season premiere on Hulu. 23rd season of The Voice is on NBC 12. The Bachelor, Manuch. Zach exchanges some romantic poems with one of the ladies.
Oh, he did?
There's a hot air balloon ride. I know you love this show.
Don't be spoiler alert here, Frank.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to give you some stuff. Perry Mason.
That's good. I like that.
Is it good on HBO?
Yes.
That's premiered tonight.
Yeah, I watched it the first
And then
season.
season premiere after that will be Rain Dogs. So that's a dark British comedy. There's no local sports tonight. Yotes, I believe, tomorrow night, I think.
That'd be true.
So there's what's on tap. Our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. Results.
3 minutes.
Results. The question was, what percentage of the Suns' 3-game win streak do you credit towards the presence of Kevin Durant? And your 4 choices were on our Twitter page at Roc and Manuch: 100%, 75%, 50%, and 25. Manuch?
Results are 100%, 32% said that. 75%, only 16%. But the looks as though over half, 50% at 28%, and 25%, 24%. So somewhere in the middle lies the truth, 100%, 32%, where 50 at 28%. Where'd you vote, Jimmy?
I went to 50%. This team was already good. They just got better when he finally arrived and got on the court. But you just can't put all the eggs in just that basket and say, oh, well, because of him, they're playing so much better. They had been playing good basketball.
Where'd you vote, Rock?
I went 75. I agree a little bit to Jimmy, but this team was losing to teams they shouldn't have. And this is the missing link. This is definitely the missing link. I think we all realize that. We all know that. So I'll go with 75.
Jax, where'd you go with your putting yourself in there?
100%.
100%. So
100%.
I lean toward you, Jimmy. I voted 50%. I think they had a good, solid team. He's just kind of that guy that kind of takes them over the top.
I agree with
that.
that.
Takes them across the goal line.
Yep.
You need that guy that can carry across because they've won 6 out of 8.
They're a playoff team. We all know they're a playoff team. With Durant, now they become a NBA title team, and he brings them that opportunity to finally win one for Manuch's beloved Phoenix Suns.
Riddle me this, Batman. Do they have the ingredients to win it all right now?
Yes.
There's no riddle there.
Yeah.
So why would you say that?
Jimmy's
it's like the dumbest thing sometimes people say.
No. Jimmy,
riddle me this, Batman. Well, you're not asking for a riddle.
No, because Jimmy's seen enough pro teams over the
What's that got to do with riddles?
5 years from that standpoint.
What does that have to do with riddle?
Okay, I would say the only thing that would hold them back would be the size. Or the size down low. So that would be the riddle. Can they solve the riddle?
That's not a riddle.
Yeah, riddle me that.
But what you can do, though, on matchups, if you're playing against a team that's using 2 big men down low on the block, is you can insert Jock Landale into the lineup to take
30 seconds.
place, and they could match up that way as well.
So the matchups with Monty Williams coaching is going to come into play from which we did not see against Dallas last year, and we barely saw it against Memphis. So hopefully they get it. Hopefully they've got all the weapons. If they don't, Monty's going to have to figure it out.
We'll do it again tomorrow, beginning at 1 o'clock. And rockmanuch.com. Get information how you can win a trip to Houston to the Final Four, as well as our bracket contest with Twin Peaks. All at Rock.